The Chain of Acheron. The Hell Troopers, dread sovereign. Once formidable. Now reduced to a rabble. Regardless, be they 10 or 10,000, they have stolen something of ours. A grievous insult. It must not go unanswered. I'm glad we agree. Go then, and retrieve what belongs to us. I will teach them the meaning of pain. So long as you return what was stolen, we care not. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Matt Colville. We play D&D on Wednesday nights. We don't run ads. Twitch might run ads. We don't have control over that. But if you subscribe, then you don't have to look at that stuff. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get one free Twitch sub a month. And I think that's all the announcements we got when last we left our heroes.
Bum, bum, bum.
You folks had just finished going shopping and had gone back to the Pharaoh's Dream and the Prince's Footstool, correct?
Correct.
So you guys are split up, effectively. The life at the Prince's Footstool, or the Stool, which is what everybody calls it, is the inn traffic is, there's not a lot of it. But people are coming by, and the stone giant that runs the place, Grant, seems very kind of grumbly and surly because once there was a lot of people coming here, and then everybody died and was horribly murdered.
Yelp reviews have tanked.
Exactly. He's walking up to all the patrons now and saying, "Do you Yelp? Do you Yelp? Because we need a."
Do you Grant?
And the dwarf that runs the place, Vaz, V-O-Z, walks up, not V-A-S-E, pronounced in a posh accent, but V-O-Z comes over to your table with a huge dwarven mug and slams it down on the table and says, "On the house! Lo, though such charity pains me. I deem this may smooth the way between us."
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Cheers.
And he has his own mug and he toasts you and drinks. And he apologizes for Grant. Grant is slow to anger, but when threatened, he is like a towering demon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is it's an understandable reaction given the situation. I'm also sorry that it happened. If in fact we had anything to do with it, our presence had anything at all to do with it. But now that we're here, you can rest assured that anything that comes through these doors with murderous intent will have to contend with us.
He likes the sound of that. He's like, "You did not have to make that offer, Hell Trooper, but it shows you are worthy."
Hell yeah.
You have earned the favor of the Stonebreakers.
Excellent. Stonebreakers.
Oh yeah, this was our company in the day, back when we were young.
Used to be a fighter yourself, eh?
Aye.
And
Great
Grant?
axe, a great oft-bloodied axe.
Very nice. I like the sound of that.
Grant was a rage warrior. Oh, he would see red, and then there would be a sea of blood everywhere.
I would imagine so.
He would see red, and then we would see red.
So yeah, he just wants to, kind of act as and the whole time he's talking to you and trying to get to know you. You see Grant is in the background. He's, serving drinks to the few people that are here. Actually, most of the people in the common room are chained soldiers. But there's, like 3 or 4 regular citizens drinking, and Grant is kind of watching the whole thing and kind of like,
Well, we'll soften him up in time.
You too are a warrior, I deem.
Oh, yeah, I think you could say that.
Adventurer? Soldier? Which?
Well, more soldier these days. But, we get into our own adventures.
And what brings you to capital and the Prince's Stool? If men came to kill you, what was their motivation? Who did you anger?
That's the thing, Vaz. I don't think we've been here long enough to anger anyone.
Well,
Then
perhaps
again, I could be wrong.
make something up that would be a better story.
I see. Well, I'm still not ruling out Abbot Nofri, by the way. No, I'm just
He
kidding.
doesn't know who Abbot Nofri is. If you say that, he's like,
Ramble drunkenly about Abbot Nofri.
the clergy, they cannot be trusted. God botherers. Damn them all. And he raises and drinks.
God bother. I like it.
Yeah, he just wants to know, like, what is the chain about?
Uh,
How many are there of you? Is this the full complement? Or have you infested other inns?
This is well. Currently, the rest of the senior staff are infesting another fine establishment.
But you do not stay with them.
This place just feels a little homier.
Ha! You hear that, Grunt? And Grunt is like, "Ah."
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Progress.
He goes, this was a sign of great approval. He points to Grunt.
Appreciate it. I'm just gonna at least raise a glass to Grant, turn around, and just give him a little.
Why for did the chain come to capital? You seek adventure?
Adventure?
There is
Fortune?
much to be found in the city. Fortune? Yes.
Yes.
These are worthy goals.
And we're also seeking fighters.
Warriors like yourself.
Yes.
Now, they are easy to come by here in the city. But skilled warriors, this is a different matter.
Yes, we could do with a bit of both, but of course the latter would be preferred.
If you have coin, then there are always those willing to sell their swords.
We do have a bit of that, and we are working on making some more. As a former mercenary dude yourself, would you know?
We prefer the term soldier of fortune.
Soldier of fortune.
Ah.
Very good. There's a nice ring to it. A nice timbre.
Emphasis on the fortune.
Yes. Well, I understand that it takes a fortune to make a fortune. What became of this Stonebreakers outfit?
Oh, some died, some were married. Truth to tell, I understand little of the difference. Grant and I always dreamed of owning this inn and running it. This was many adventures had here, many plans were hatched here back in the day.
Nice.
So this contents us. And Grant goes,
Excellent. And are there any of the Stonebreakers that are still fighting men?
Oh, no. No, we're long past that, alas. Now is the time only for tales and ale.
Indeed. But I imagine that you're a man who could spot the difference between a skilled fighter and...
Oh, aye.
So, being that we're in the market...
Oh, so you want to know if this guy's going to, can help you, recruit people?
Yeah, or at least keep an eye out for persons of interest, if you will.
So he's going to ask...
Does Grant have any brothers? Or sisters?
Yeah, but none of them are as civilized as Grant, Voz would say. I'm not going to do the dwarf voice all night. He wants to know if are you looking for literally adventurers, or are you looking for experienced soldiers? Actually, he'll tell you that a lot of the prince's soldiers are starting to take up mercenary work because it's been a couple of years since the prince died, and the Privy Council refuses to kind of elect anybody, and so it's starting to slowly devolve into they're still getting paid, there's just nothing to do. So that's what he says. He says, if I were you, I would cast my eye to the prince's lands.
Very nice.
There's many soldiers of many factions. When he says factions, he means of the map of capital, all the places owned by the prince. It's not like one army. It's not like the prince had an army.
Right.
It's different. It's different orders of soldiers in each district, and so depending on where you go, you might get different kinds of fighters.
Okay. Very cool. And do you have any details on who or what type of fighter might be where?
Or? He probably knows a little, but Matt doesn't, so he's gonna have to get back to you.
All right. What do you think?
After he's sobered up, which because my mind is foggy due to the power of the dwarven ale, but once it is out of my system, say a week.
Understandably, this is
Start next Wednesday. I'll be all right.
Exactly.
this is, as you say, the good shit.
Yeah. This is my family stock. It was a rare privilege that I would share it with a Terran, human, Riohan.
Well, it's my honor and my pleasure.
Yeah, I'll make a note. He'll be happy to kind of give you a little bit of info on the prince's troops and which ones, what the reputations they have are, and which ones you might be able to hire. He knows a little bit about that stuff.
Sweet.
Stand by. That is a cool idea. He will get back to you on that. Meanwhile, at the Pharaoh's Dream, you folks are spend the night, and this is now without there are a couple of different restaurants here, and there are places to shop, and there are stores internal to the Pharaoh's Dream, but also you guys are staying on the promenade, which is a place where people come from around the world to buy expensive goods imported from various regions of capital. Is there anything you folks want to do while you're staying at the Pharaoh's Dream, other than just eat large meals?
What's your dragonborn
Okay.
retainer's name?
Ox.
Ox.
Right?
I want to have Ox
crave oxen.
get up
Action. I crave oxen.
the articles about the other shape attacks that have been happening
Right.
that are in the broadsheets, so we can investigate that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe you can speak Dragonborn to Dragonborn. I don't know.
At some point, when you guys are at lunch, probably, and I assume you're going to continue eating in the Hanging Garden because it's inside the hotel. A woman, a pregnant Riohan woman, comes to the archway that leads into and she asks the maitre d', and he points to your table, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," and she's kind of waddles over to your table.
Dude just got himself in some trouble.
She looks like a middle-aged 40-something Riohan woman. She's not dressed as nicely. Like, you guys don't have your awesome clothes yet, but she's dressed more like a bureaucrat. And she's like, "This place is nice, isn't it? You folks are doing well for yourself. Do you mind if I have a seat?"
Please sit.
Sit down before you fall down.
In your condition, I would insist you sit.
Thank you so much. And she kind of she's really pregnant, and she sits down and introduces herself. Her name is, she says, "My name is Demelza Mendano. I have some questions for the chain." That's you folks, right? I was hoping we could chat a little bit about all the goings on at the Citadel.
You a reporter?
Well, me? No. I work for the Office of Exchange Integrity. I'm the associate director of what is her title? Associate Director of Domestic Affairs.
Exchange.
What does that mean?
Integrity?
Yes, she works for the Fulcrum.
Ah.
Yeah, sure. Well, a lot of people here do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we just make sure that people buying and selling things here on the island, that it's all above board, and no one's trying to rip anybody off. Happens all the time. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know if you know anything about what's going on at the Citadel. But it's this old building, big like castle-looking thing over on the corner of the island, and no one was using it for a long time, and everybody said it was pirates, and it was disused for a long time. And I think probably Lady Shiromi, she runs the Fulcrum. I think Lady Shiromi probably eventually would have probably taken care of it herself, but she had other things to do. And now someone else has sort of kind of started to take care of the problem. And now there's this other adventuring company that's sort of occupying the Citadel. And by we, I mean myself and the Office of Exchange Integrity, we were sort of hoping maybe maybe you folks could do something about that.
If I may read between the lines.
Yes, please do.
You'd like us to go.
Are you going to eat? I'm famished. Are you going to finish this?
Please.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're gonna share that with her, not me? Oh my.
A lady in her condition needs to keep herself fueled.
Seems like I'm
She's
hungry all the
probably
time.
got 30,
Yeah,
40
what's-
eggs in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of eggs in there.
She's like, blind, I hope not.
Slim, it works slightly different to that. So I'll explain to you later what we might call a little chat about the birds.
The birds and the bees.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah. Slim's awesome. Anyway. Enough talk about my eggs, she says.
You'd like us to go to this citadel and how could I put it? Remove people that may be there?
Well, I mean, let's be clear, right? I mean, it's not legal what they're doing.
Kill them.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, if you have to. I don't know.
Why is it
I'm
not,
only the associate director. I'm not.
why is it not legal what they're doing?
Well, they don't own the land. The Citadel's chartered to probably the prince or maybe some knob somewhere, not a bunch of rat catchers. Begging your pardon.
You're asking us to remove squatters.
Well, yeah. I mean, how it doesn't have to be. It depends on when you were available. Maybe it wouldn't have to be. It might be more of a military operation. How many soldiers could you field if you had to? I've read up on you. Chain of Acheron, mercenaries,
What have you read?
army. Well, you're fighters, you're warriors, soldiers for hire. I mean, maybe it would be as simple as just going to the Citadel and cleaning it out. Cleaning it out.
A cleaning job.
Kill them.
Yeah.
A cleaning job.
Kill them.
Certainly.
So the job is that you want us to take care of squatters on someone else's territory so you can move in, presumably?
Yes.
Why is it that you want to move in?
Well, it's on Lady Shrome's land. We currently have the charter to run the stays. It's in the stays. It's ours. It's technically ours. Legally ours. And now the church has sort of decided that they want to take it over. And we like the church, like lots of churches, but in this instance, we sort of feel like maybe it's really not their place to sort of try to occupy what is technically a military installation on what is legally our island.
Technically,
Yes,
it is or it isn't.
it is. And right now, I think it's just a bunch of rat catchers. I think there might only be 6 of them. Big castle, all to themselves. How hard can it be? But who knows?
So no members of this church reside in the Citadel.
Ooh,
Ooh, ah.
I mean, I'm not an oracle. I can't see into the Citadel right now. Who knows? Who knows what else might be going on there? But I fear that. Obviously, you know your own business.
We can mitigate.
You are
any
not
surprise.
warriors. Have you exhausted your diplomatic options?
Yeah, I'm not an expert on that part. I deal mostly with tariffs, paperwork.
Your slave master hasn't asked them to leave.
Well, I sort of feel like that's how we got in this situation. They already kind of said no.
Okay, good to know.
And that was the Shining Star, or whatever they're called.
They're called the shooting star.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like I said, you know your own business. I don't know how long it would take, and these things turn out sometimes to be time sensitive when they might not seem otherwise. And I sort of feel like if we wait too long on this, that it might be the army soldier part of the chain that we need, not necessarily the,
Us.
Well, I mean, sure, yeah. Like the longer we wait,
They're going to build it.
sooner or later, it's not just going to be 6 adventurers. It's going to be probably a bunch of church soldiers, army. Sooner or later.
Well, let's not play coy. What's in it for us?
Oh, I don't know. I've never hired mercenaries before. What do you charge?
$20,000.
Well, what? Let's forget about money. What is it you need?
We want the Citadel.
Or something like the Citadel. We need a base of operations.
Well, this hotel seems nice. I couldn't afford to stay here.
It's not ours.
Oh, I guess that's true. Well, that seems only fair to me, although I'm not really right now here at breakfast. I'm not really empowered to make a deal at this moment, but I can certainly go talk to my boss, the director, and see what he says. And maybe we can work something out.
All
I have
right.
just a bit of toast. Thank you. Put some butter on toast or something.
Tea.
Oh, God. She drinks the tea. So you've made your offer, which is you want help getting like property.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
be that
Ideally,
property.
the Citadel, right? But
It wouldn't be
probably
that
won't get
property because that's theirs.
Yeah.
Well,
assume.
the only reason I want to do the other, this is not to the pregnant lady.
Yeah.
Meta.
Your mom's.
The only reason I want to do the job on that other island is because that's nobody's territory, and I'd rather set up shop over there outside of
Right.
Which job was that?
the one
library.
for the prince thing, or go to the library.
The library one. Okay.
I don't really care
Well-
about that job. I care about exploring that island.
I mean,
seeing
she
it.
doesn't have a complete offer
No.
ready,
Well, no,
right? So she's
correct.
just feeling. So we've got time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Time-ish. It sounds like it would get harder the longer we wait.
Right, but I mean,
we don't have a. Yeah, you're right.
like they're not going to build an army in a week.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, and the library gig won't take us too long anyway as they get their stuff figured out.
Well, it was nice meeting you. Thanks for thinking about it.
Charming to meet
Well,
you
we're-
too.
How can we?
If we're not here, we tell her that she can deliver the message to Two Shoes at the Prince's Footstool.
Oh, I go there all the time.
Yeah, we need a term sheet.
Yeah.
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 No, she'll get back in touch with you if you like. The Office of Exchange Integrity has its own building
Mhm.
that the concierge, anybody can tell you where it is. So if you ever want to go talk to her, you can go to her office.
Right.
So she's going to excuse herself and get up, and me and my eggs are going to go back to work, she says.
Yikes.
And she's like, nice meeting you all. And she trundles off.
Trundles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the Prince's Stool. Prince's Footstool.
Footstool.
Yeah, I was
Princess,
like, whoa.
Princess Footstool. Nobody calls it the Prince's Stool.
I don't
It's
want
called-
to know anything.
They just call
about
it the
Prince's
stool. A young woman enters.
Is this still the same night?
Yeah, still. Well, it's the next day.
Daytime, isn't it?
Next morning.
Yeah, it's brunch-ish is when your encounter with Vaz happens, and he talks to you.
Oh, okay.
And then, lunch-ish. It's dark. It's still like there's still not a lot of people in here because it usually doesn't get populated until supper. So not a lot of people come in here for a midday meal. But around that time, a Riohan woman walks in. She has curly brown hair down to her shoulders. She looks like she's young, in her early 20s. And she's dressed kind of like you're dressed. And she has a rapier at her hip.
Ooh.
And she walks in and looks around and orders a drink and then kind of clocks you and approaches and sits down and says, you would be Boots.
A lucky guess.
I could tell by the footwear in your description. A guardian angel sent me.
Oh, yeah? To whom do I have the pleasure?
My name is Orlandria Di Gietti.
Orlandria?
Orlandria. Day, D, lowercase d, day, Gietti. G-I-E-T-T-I.
Well, pleasure to make your acquaintance. A guardian angel, you say?
Yes. Yeah, there was, you had some questions about he sent me to, how would she say, give you the straight dope? She wouldn't say debrief you. She's like, there aren't a lot of tourists in the on the pallet, but if there were, I would be your tour guide.
Oh, I see. You were sent by
A guardian angel.
Okay.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
So, sorry, sometimes I'm not properly framed on camera. So go ahead and do me a favor, Boots,
Yeah.
and I want you to make an espionage check,
Okay.
which is
Should I throw this at him?
What is that?
which is
Make sure you hit it.
you guys have, because of how much money you spent on your spy network, right? That so you kind of bought your way into having a level 2 organization, and the level of your spy network is the level of your spy network is added to your role, but also the fact that you have a spy network means that you're proficient in this,
Okay.
which right now is going to be +3.
All right.
So that's +3 because you have a spy network and therefore you're proficient in this, and +2 because you have a second level network. So this is not Boots specifically. This is your network's role.
Yeah.
That since you're the boss of the network, you're going to make, and the result is going to be how much, if anything, you folks find out about what's going on with this library job on the pallet.
God damn it.
Oh my gosh.
What do you roll?
We can
Oh boy. Natural one.
Some spy master you turned out.
First time
Hey
through.
man, listen, we're just getting started here.
Fucking
Yeah.
drunk all the time in the footstool. Every time it's like, well, you're in the footstool.
Oh man.
Dwarven stock is
So Orlandria tells you. She
She just like barks on
then,
my
get
shoes
some
and walks
water.
out.
No. This is just so you know. This isn't Boots. This isn't Boots making this roll. This is Tom making the roll on behalf of the chain network.
Yeah.
So the result
So
is
let us all
just
down.
that between
7.
the money you guys have spent and Angel and Orlandria, it's she knows a little bit about the pellet, but she doesn't know that much, and she can tell you that the Royal Society work for the Fulcrum.
Okay.
Right, so that half elf that came and tried to hire you, he works for the Fulcrum. They are not one of the major heraldic societies in Capital. There are way more important ones. These guys make their money inventing noble lineages for high-ranking guild members, so that they can get invited to the right parties, basically.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
And she's like, that's super common. She's like,
You should
lots
invent
of
some those for us.
a lot of that's why there are so many of these heraldic societies, and they all have the princes whatever, the royal this, or the emperors blah blah, and most of them make their money kind of, and this is a tradition that goes back hundreds of years.
Cool. Do you know anything about this library itself?
Nope. Natural 1.
Yeah, you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
Plus 5.
He had some pluses.
that's true. That's true.
technically I rolled a 6.
Right.
Should sleep near me so I can guidance you.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Why
Guidance.
me?
Yeah, really.
Guidance.
Guy in.
Hardly know her.
What did you get? What was your result?
6
All
total.
that we're gonna get one sentence.
Yeah, right.
Oh, like that.
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking.
Yeah, don't look.
Yeah.
So it's according to the DM's guide, the DC for an easy check is 5.
Oh, okay. You named
So,
it.
and that's what I have written down. So you guys, even with a 1,
Yeah.
you find out
Skill
you get-
checks
you-
don't critical miss.
No, there's no critical failure or critical success on
Oh,
skill check.
that's good.
But this is a graduated check. It is the better you roll, the more stuff you learn.
Yeah.
Right. So this is but yeah, she does know. She says, well, of course, you'll be fighting many undead.
Okay. We've fought on
Because
that before.
the library was built on top of a mausoleum, very old.
Interesting.
Yes. This is almost certainly how that courier of theirs died.
Ah, that would make sense.
Each new administration for the library locks the mausoleum up, declaring it unsafe and a hazard. And then, of course, they run out of space to store the documents, or they must retrieve a document some earlier administration stored in the mausoleum, and so they must open the place back up again. It is a never-ending cycle.
Sounds like a fun place, actually. For adventurers such as ourselves, of course.
She says that our mutual friend, our guardian angel, says that the society will almost certainly offer you knighthoods if you ask. They will hem and they will haw, but they will do it. But you must know that this is not a. This would mean that you would be in service to Shirome. And she will not call in any favor. She will not even let you know that is who. You will be perfectly encouraged to think that you are independent agents until you're relying on your knighthoods to get you into some part of the city. And then probably her nephew, someone from the Office of Exchange Integrity, will come and threaten to take your knighthoods away because they have that power.
I see.
Unless you do something for them. So I cannot advise you on whether or not it is wise, but I personally would not want to be in her pocket.
That makes sense. Is there any way I've heard tell of a slightly shiftier way of acquiring some, let's say, knighthoods?
Oh, well, I mean, you could have them forged, certainly. But, that was only a forged seals will eventually be noticed, and then you will have to pay for it, maybe spend some time in jail.
But if we were, say, just going to the Pellet, which is sort of neutral territory at the moment, or at least this is the prince's territory, right?
Yes.
Unoccupied
Yes, it's
by
administered. It's by the Red Falcons. They're some of the prince's soldiers in the Pellet.
I see. Doesn't seem like we'd be running into the same kind of checkpoints and that sort of thing as we would be if we were trying to do
it
this
is no
same
harder.
thing in the city.
It is no harder to get into the Pellet as it did anywhere else.
Okay.
But it's not easier either. So now I need you to make another roll.
Okay.
This is the opposed roll.
Using you.
This is the opposed roll. It's the same bonus, but it's opposed. This is whether or not the Fulcrum found out that you were spying on them.
No.
Now he's going to roll 20.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
You don't get to know. What did you get?
You don't get to know.
22.
Are you serious? Wow. Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take your word for it. So let's see.
You rolling high was good.
Okay, well, I mean, nothing happens right now. This is the seed for future events. But yeah, Orlandria is perfectly happy to sit here, drink with you, and answer any other questions you have about the Pellet or about the society. But that's the crux of it. Is
Okay.
that the library? It's it's massive. It serves as an actual library, research facility, but also as a hall of records. So the people that work there are both kind of librarians and notary publics, basically.
Cool.
And a lot of different. There are lots of libraries like this throughout the city. It's an important civic asset.
Can you not borrow a knighthood?
I mean, what does that mean?
Rent one?
And you could, yeah, absolutely, you could. Yeah, there are families and organizations that have knighthoods, but they're not using them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for a certain amount of money, they'd be happy to lend you the right and title to their knighthood. They're the equivalent of Ronin, masterless samurai. They're knights.
Mm-hmm.
They're independent knights that have no affiliation. There are people there are families that make money. The Prince's Privy Council assigns a certain number of knighthoods to the various families every year as a quota because they're not hereditary.
Right.
So when people die, they just kind of go back into the pot. And different factions, some get a lot, some get a few. And some of them have knighthoods and they're not using them. That's the reason somebody like Shirome could knight you guys. Is that everybody who's at that level of power in the city has a certain number of knighthoods in their pocket that they're not using on purpose, so they can do stuff like make new knights.
Right.
But yeah, there are families that were once great families that are now down on their luck, and no one in the family could use a knighthood in any kind of lucrative sense, and so you could just buy one. But then you would be technically a member of that family, technically.
But if it's like in that situation, could you do it for only this? I'm gonna rent it for so much amount of time and then leave. Is that what you're saying, Phil? Like, kind of like I'm gonna
basically
be
it's like
service for like
I'm going to use this knighthood for a little while. I'm going to give you some money.
Yeah.
And then fuck off because I don't want to be beholden to you after that.
Yeah, I mean, if you know the right people, yeah.
Right. Of course, we don't. But
Well, I mean, you could find out. You got a spy network now.
right.
So is there anything else that you want to find out about? Should I take any information back to Angel?
So, okay, just for my own clarification, this Pursuvian to Lithwith, he works for the Heraldic Society that works for the Fulcrum.
Yes.
And he's basically just trying to get this document to make some rando into a lord so that he can do lordy things.
Yeah. For what reason, she says, I do not know. You have an excellent memory.
I don't know if there's anything.
I mean,
I guess
anything else?
Let's see if Angel can find anyone who could like rent us some knighthoods
Okay.
that we could borrow, or like how to forge some in lieu of.
Oh, that's easy, she says.
Okay. So
She's like,
she knows how.
I can get you some forged seals.
All right.
Give me 3 days. I don't know how, they won't stand up to close inspection, but they'll get you through a lot. They'll get you through the city gates. That's no problem.
That in the diplomat's pouch.
I don't know how well that's going to work. Right? We're pretty conspicuous.
A secret message within the guild.
Right, we all show up. Suddenly we're knights, but
Yeah. Like,
We
wait.
stand.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay. Yeah. He's already working on that.
Did we say that? Last
Well, you said you wanted to be able to leak information to those guys, so he's already
No. We wanted to leak information to
House Alvaro. You wanted to tell House Alvaro that you also oppose Ajax, but you also told him, I made a note of it, that you want to be able to get your own stories into the Broadsheet Guild.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he's working on that. You get a note back that says, I'm on it, boss.
Yeah, I think that's it. All I would be asking Orlandria about is, if there's any other useful information as far as like getting onto the island with weaponry, getting into the library. It doesn't sound like the library is like occupied by anything other than these undead.
The mausoleum is where the undead are. The library is a library.
Okay.
The mausoleum is under. The library is built on top of it. So if you walk into the library, it's going to look like a big library. But if you go down into the basement and go down this one corridor and go through it, you're going to end up in this ancient mausoleum.
Gotcha.
But it's still part of the library where they store documents, typically really old ones.
Okay, so it's not like this library is like abandoned and full of undead.
Nope.
It's still a running library.
Yep. 100%.
Oh.
Yep. You walk in the library, it looks like a library. And there'll be a librarian. There'll be people there doing research and stuff. And it's just that,
It's not
like,
abandoned.
she says most of capital is built on
Graveyards.
old capital.
Yep.
Like the city's been here for 3,000 years.
Right.
And you dig anywhere and you're going to find their whole streets and sewer systems that have been, their whole like buildings have been
Well, and some of them are still occupied, right?
flooded
By
and paved over and stuff like that. So
what is it? The layers,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you already know. Yeah, of course. You're a Riohan. Of course, you know that. Yeah. So yeah, you go to the library. It's going to be a regular library, and if you want to get your weapons there, I mean, a courier seal will do it. But you guys already know that.
You're right. We do.
Yeah. Matt said you guys will already know that. Not her.
Okay. All right.
She's like, yeah, Matt is telling you that.
So, but wait, that's different than the whole like borrowing knighthoods thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's all we really need. It's like we're going there on a job, and someone meets us.
Well, I mean, here's like this is what the herald told you, that he'll get you. He'll give you courier seals to get you on the pallet, and that he's never done this, but he knows that if you just flash your courier's seal, they'll let you through with your weapons because it looks like a knight's seal.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
They're not gonna bother looking. They don't care. Like thousands of people go through the city gates and go to these places every day, and people smuggle weapons through all the time, and they're only going to stop you and frisk you if you look like you guys, right? Because you guys look like soldiers. You guys have plate and stuff like that. You don't look like a baker on his way from work to home or anything like that. And so if you
the courier seals will take care of
it. If you just it's there's a risk. They might stop you and be like, that's not a fucking, what are you doing? You're just a courier. But if you guys show up and you flash your seals, they're going to assume you're knights. Like, they're not going to stop you unless they've been told to stop you because they are suspicious and they're looking for you. So
I've just had a thought. We should have Angel find out if they're suspicious and looking for us.
No. She'll tell you that like Angel thinks the job is clean. It's just that you're going to end up like, there's obviously stuff that she doesn't know because of what you wrote. There's obviously stuff that she doesn't know, and there's probably more complexity, but that's just capital. Like anybody you work for, it's going to turn out to be one thing or another. Just Angel said to tell you they're going to offer you knighthoods. You maybe don't want to take them.
Yeah.
Because that just means you're going to be in the pocket of Shirome.
Right.
What do you think would...
But do you want me to get you some fake night seals? It'll take you 3 days.
I mean, maybe hold off on that for now.
Okay.
Just because it sounds like the courier seals might do the trick for this job.
That's the idea.
But that'll be a good thing to keep in the pocket in the future. Also, I might confer with my commander.
Sure.
Once I finish my lunch.
Hey, you're right.
Well, then she's gonna go back to your guardian angel. She stands up and puts her hat back. She has a crazy kind of Rioan hat.
Nice.
And she puts her hat back on. She's like, "Nice meeting you."
Likewise.
And she takes off.
All right, I'll finish up here and head over to the dream to meet up with the rest of the guys and the elf dude. Right? Are we meeting back up?
Yep.
With it? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys sent a message that you want to meet with that guy.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll just come in and kind of give them the rundown on that whole conversation that they didn't just hear.
Correct. So you guys, Boots shows up and debriefs you on what he found out about this job. And I think you guys already asked the questions that you had. So I think at this point, you folks are just waiting for the half-elf to show up.
We should talk about some other reward, because...
Yeah, what was it for doing that job? What were they offering?
I
forgot.
think he even gave us a number. I think
Originally, when we talked to him, we were thinking about trying to get them to forge a royalty slip for Boots, but that doesn't seem worthwhile.
So we need to get him to give us a better offer when he gets it.
We need to probably try to get some sort of monetary thing, because otherwise I don't really see a point in doing this job.
I don't know. It might not be a bad idea to have Boots have some kind of seal so he can get into the right parties, as it was put, just to kind of get a better idea of what's going on in the city, especially if he's going to be handling a lot of the spying and espionage.
Well, yeah, but that's for the guilds to get into the parties. So how's a no-name like Boots going to go to these parties?
I mean,
Commander, I do have a legitimate noble lineage.
Yeah, he can have claim.
In capital. It's old, but...
Plus he's Riohan. He's going to have...
It sounds like this is the kind of guy who could reestablish that.
I mean, if that's what you want.
It certainly doesn't hurt us.
Plus money.
Plus...
Well, of course, we're mercenaries.
Yeah. I think they are a bit poor, though, if I remember.
I think
They
we
can't
Or
be
they work
poor.
for
They work for the Fulcrum.
Yeah, if they're one.
Maybe I'm thinking of
When-
the clergy.
Because I remember
We
one guy
might
was
just
like,
need to
Yeah, the clergy
squeeze
was.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
He was the one that didn't have much money at all.
Well, it's also that like they're probably trying to play off of your ignorance,
Yeah,
right?
But now we know.
Like
Also, they work with
Sure.
nobles all the time, or would-be nobles who are probably paying a pretty penny to be able to get RSVP'd into the right places.
Yeah, just hold that one in your pocket, and then when they try to lowball us, you'd be like, "Fuck
Yeah.
you, Shiromi can afford better."
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I
it was
remember this guy
surprising.
being like, "Oh, I've never hired people before," or something like that. He was all, yeah,
Cold
that's
war,
all.
isn't it?
That was all. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Well,
play
he hired the
dumb with
last
Yeah, it was
dude
all
who
pretty
got
dumb.
killed by undead in the basement
That was
of
the
this
priest.
library.
Was that the priest?
That was
Oh,
the
sorry.
priest.
Okay, I thought that was.
Yeah.
No, the
Oh,
Abbot Nofri.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, hang on,
Okay.
stand by. Yeah, I got confused. Abbot Nofri asked you to go clear out the citadel.
Right.
It was
like we're gonna be
Percival
doing that
Wilsleth Elithwith who asked you to go do the library job because they lost a courier. They already sent one courier
oh,
over
right,
here,
right, right.
and
But he
and
just hasn't come back.
he just hasn't. He's missing.
Right.
Yeah, or he or she is missing.
How do we spin this into like a good PR move for the chain? Because so far we've been kind of lambasted
Ooh,
in
could be
the
like-
broadsheets.
Well,
Well,
one,
now-
if they do the lineage thing,
Yeah.
it's like
Save
that an old house reborn or
right.
something like
the
that.
chain
you know?
saved an old house from dying or something. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was originally hoping we could do if they were trying to establish nobles, but they're not. They're bullshitting guild members. So
Well, if they can bullshit, they could certainly.
Well, that's what this
Do a real
document is
one, right?
about, right? This document is some obscure piece of parchment that links this dude to, or
Right.
or can establish some tenuous link to something else.
bloodline or something like
Yeah.
that. You were born to this.
You guys
farm.
hear a voice that you recognize call out from the entryway to the Hanging Garden, the restaurant, and it's a herald. It says, "You have the honor of meeting my lord." And then this nobleman walks in and kind of tells the guy to shut up. And it's the it is
No respect.
is
no
it?
respect.
it's the Marquis de Masco,
Oh.
who
Ah,
you guys met. He was the one that performed the inspection on
Who's on the ship?
Mhm,
Yeah.
Correct.
Then they're the group that is trying to make everybody else believe that we work for them.
Correct.
Okay.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. It says
we know stuff now,
It-
guys.
it-
Yeah, we know things.
It says clear.
Oops.
Yeah, it
Look
says
who it
clear
is,
as
our
mud.
employer.
And this guy, he looks like he's Riohan. He looks like a Riohan version of like Patrick Stewart, but Patrick Stewart back when he was like in Dune, like a younger version of that guy. And he's wearing a military uniform. He's wearing a Navy uniform. It's got lots of decorations on, but it's pressed. It looks nice. And he brusquely enters and tells his herald to shut up. And his herald, sorry, sir. And he comes and finds you guys and doesn't ask to sit. He just sits at your table. And
Please sit down.
yeah, really.
Make yourself comfortable.
how have you all been finding capital?
Well, it's right here.
Farts.
Smelly.
it's been the okayest city in this early age.
I know how you feel. I prefer to stay on the boat myself. I've been doing some thinking about you and your organization and your past. And I was wondering if you might be interested in coming by the academy and doing a guest lecture.
On what topics?
Well, it would be up to you. You're experienced soldiers. You've fought across the timescape. Just that, he points to the chronicle on your hip, which I presume you're based on your art. That's where you keep it.
No, it's in the.
I saw the art. I saw the art. It's canon. The art is canon. He says
Is it on there?
The best way to flay
Here,
a
let me hang on.
mind
Let
flayer.
me see. Let me see the.
Yeah, you can look yourself. Can I borrow that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all means.
Thanks.
Okay. Hey, Mom.
Stop it, YouTuber.
Lars wrote on me. He says the chronicle alone is a remarkable piece of military history. But you folks could pick your subject. I'm sure the cadets would love to hear. It'd just be something you could speak on extemporaneously for, say, a turn and a half, and then sit for a Q&A and be done. I mean, you, a Gith, a soldier of the astral sea. I'm sure your exploits would be legendary.
They are.
Indeed. Well, you should come to the academy. Address the cadets. You could speak on Gith Gith techniques of war. Gith stratagems.
I have a question, Marquis. Being that we are a let's say growing military operation, or attempting to be at least, how would you feel about us sort of putting in a good word for the chain at the end of this lecture?
What are you asking? Matt wants to know what you're asking.
Basically, like, can we spin this as like a
Recruiting tool.
Can we go sit in the quad with flyers and
and review their resumes and.
tell tales of our awesomeness, and then be like, hey, join the chain?
By the way, we're hiring.
I don't think he would
Reviews.
be happy to lose any of his men.
Well, they're graduating.
You might
Yeah,
give us the rubbish one.
You could certainly try, he says.
Well, I mean,
I think most of the cadets have their eyes set on higher station than serving in a mercenary company, but that's up to them. Once they graduate, they can go wherever they want. There will be other recruiters on the campus,
all right.
but depending on if you were, for instance, setting sail for an alien sea, for instance, if you were planning a contract in Alloy, I'm sure you'd be able to recruit some cadets who would love to see another world.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this is just I was passing through, and I thought it struck me as a wasted opportunity that we have this legendary mercenary company here in Capital without taking the opportunity to invite you to come by the academy.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping in. We how should we get in touch with you?
You can ask any of the Marines.
All right.
He gets up. He says, "Thanks for I've got. Hang on," and he pulls a couple of tickets out from his vest pocket. He says, "A friend of mine in the Ivy gave me tickets to the opera, and I can't stand the thing." And he tosses the tickets on the table. He says, "I've never liked the opera. It's," as he puts it, "women who've eaten too much singing till they drop dead, while women who haven't eaten enough twirl around in the background, and 60-year-old men pretending to be love-struck teenagers. But I'm told that one hasn't seen Capital until one's been to the opera." And that he leaving the tickets on the table, he turns and he leaves.
How many tickets?
I take the tickets.
Too.
I took them.
Both of them?
You could be my date.
That was certainly a show for everybody around watching us right now. I definitely don't think we're working with these guys.
Yeah, right.
Go sell those tickets.
Yeah, he walks in, he announces himself. It's at the Pharaoh's Dream where you got to be seen. That's like...
Then drop some tickets on the table. And
Ticket.
People are so suspicious.
too right, too right. That was
You're,
good.
you're just delayed because I caught
I'm
it.
interested in the academy for sure.
The other side of that coin is that we give a lecture at this venerated military academy about how venerated militarily we are. Looks good for us, and they are going to pay us to do it. So
Yeah, it would certainly lend legitimacy to a group of mercenaries.
Did he offer money?
Yeah, I don't remember.
No,
I mean,
he
it's-
didn't.
it's implied.
There'd be a speaking. It would be very little money. It would be like
Right.
150 gold.
Your time kind of thing.
It would be a speaking fee, but yeah, it would definitely
150 goals.
it would like
I think it's
carpet
cool.
trips. Yeah.
I think it's a really cool thing to do because especially since this the academy has its own what's the
Network.
club? The old class ring club
that's
or whatever.
exactly it. Yeah, and he, by the way, he has one of those rings.
Here,
Yeah.
man.
He definitely has one of those rings.
Yeah, so it's like
Give me a
okay,
ticket.
like we should definitely go like
Give me a
rub
ticket.
shoulders with these guys because one, it's a good recruiting opportunity, and two, it's a really good intel opportunity.
Can we just go see the
You
opera?
can read this.
Let's go.
Not easily.
Matt could sing
It's two
for us.
tickets. It's
Matt-
you. It's one for
Matt
copper,
wants
one
to
for
go,
big
yeah.
cat.
Yeah, you
Oh,
And
you
Matt will sing for us.
really big trench coat that goes around the both of you.
Yeah.
So there's
I am one
There's
person.
the college and there's the academy. Those are the two separate things.
One opera, please.
There are lots of colleges. There are a couple
Well,
of
but
academies.
University.
the Ivy.
There's the War College. So there's the War College, which is part of House Alvaro, and then there's the Military Academy. They sound similar, but they're two very different things.
Yeah.
The Military Academy is like West Point. The War College is like Harvard or Yale. It's where like people like or like Oxford. It's part of a university, And so it's one college inside a larger university, and it's the College of Warfare and Statescraft. So nobles from around the world send their eldest children here to this one college at the university to learn how to be a ruler. Right? You go to the military academy because you're going to fight a war.
Is that where
You go to the war. You go to the college because you want to be a learned noble and learn diplomacy and all that kind of.
Which one did we get invited to?
The military
one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Did Ajax graduate from the war college?
Yep, he is he
And
graduated with
the
honors.
too. The Duke
Yes, yeah,
dude.
yeah. Duke Prospero Alvaro graduated. This is years ago. He's like in his 40s or 50s. Graduated from the war college. It's a prestigious school. Like lots of people go to the war college. You know, regular soldiers go to the war college, but you have to get accepted into the university.
So he
And it's
graduated from that one, but runs the university?
No, the dude you were just talking to. Well, actually, the guy. Wait,
I'm talking about Prospero Alvaro.
he did not go to the academy. He went to the war college. He's not a soldier.
Okay. But he runs the other one. He runs the one that he didn't go to.
Nope. He runs the university.
I'm fucking lost.
Yeah, well, King is out of it. King is the city is a big complex thing with all sorts of moving parts.
Can I say
But-
that thing again so I can turn it to him?
No, not this time.
By the way, we should show this off.
Prospero Alvaro.
We should show this off.
It's in the art.
It's okay. We'll show it. For those of you who are wondering what handout we're looking at, Lars doesn't want to spoil it. You're going to see
there
it.
we go.
You're going to see it when Can people? There you go. Yeah.
It's the map.
Yeah. So this is something that one of the folks on our Discord made. A key to Capital. Very useful, I think.
So Prospero Alvaro
Correct.
runs the Ivy League.
He runs the university, which includes the war college, and he graduated from it. That guy that you met somebody from that house. You didn't meet this dude, but you met somebody from that house who runs the military academy. This guy runs West Point. This guy runs Harvard.
Where are we going to speak?
Here.
Okay.
West Point.
West
But this
Point.
guy
Yeah.
went here.
No, this
Okay,
guy went
so
here.
Ajax
went here.
Okay, so we're not going to the place that Ajax
Nope.
went.
I'm gonna go to that
All
one
right.
and
That
fart
was
on the.
what I thought Hannah asked, but
No.
okay.
I was asking about because you guys started talking about the college, so I was like,
Right.
I just wanted to clarify that is where Ajax had gone.
Yeah,
not
there
West
are lots. By the way, at the university, there are lots of colleges.
Yeah, 'cause
the war
I was-
college is only one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, blah,
Who's going to
blah.
give that speech?
Well, it's a lecture, right? I think we
Right.
could do like a
You
round.
will. You've been a warrior for thousands of years.
Well, the specific invitation was for either King. He invited King, but anybody could go, and that's when he kind of was like, "Well, you sir, a
Right.
Gith, like a Gith soldier, like yeah,
Yeah, for a
that's
military.
We'd probably
kind of,
go
it
there
makes sense.
and
Go slim.
talk about Alloy from the Chronicle. Like give a breakdown.
you'd be able to
yeah.
name. You'd be able to name your topic. Like the battle
That's
of
a
the
good
fall
one.
of Alloy would be
We could tell them how the lady lady of brass didn't fucking
Fuck.
listen to the chain and
and look what happened.
how
Set the record straight on
what
that.
happened.
Nice.
So that would probably be the
how wise we were, how stupid she was.
Well, you're blameless. You're like I wasn't a member of the company.
Yeah.
I would have done.
But
You heard about it.
I heard about
Yeah,
it.
you heard about it. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, because if Slim did it, he would just like tell them about all the depredations and the best way to kill mind flayers. And,
You know what? Like if the topic were the best way to wage war against mind flayers, I'm sure a lot of people would show up for that.
yeah.
But yeah, it's up to you guys whether or not you
we can
go
try to get
for
it to be a recurring job.
Do a topic on ill rigging.
So you want to rig some ill. So later that evening, or say early that day, early evening, the herald, the half elf herald, shows up and looks kind of out of sorts and looks for you folks and comes and finds you in the very richly appointed lobby. I presume you don't spend all day at the restaurant.
Bar.
And he approaches the commander and says, I take it you've considered the job.
Well, it took you long enough to respond.
I'm sorry, we're very, very busy.
So we need to talk about the. We are looking at taking the job,
Oh, thank goodness.
but we need to talk about our payment for said job.
Oh, certainly, yes. Yeah, of course, yes. Mercenaries, yes, of course. And payment,
just the-
yes, obviously, yeah. So
Payment
what, how much do you...
Well, we just
Cost.
finished fighting a bunch of undead for 20,000 gold, and
Undead?
so we're well prepared to fight some more of them for a similar amount.
How much did you say?
Oh, it was 20,000, I think.
20,000.
20,000 gold? Jesus, I have no idea where I'd get my hands on 20,000 gold.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you could hire another courier. Try your luck again.
Fulcrum. Pardon me.
Leech, how's that cold?
I need some medicine.
Perhaps there was something else we could do.
We can negotiate.
So
money is certainly. I understand money should be part of this deal. It just seems as though 20,000 gold. Like normally, a minor noble would be we would do extensive research into a minor noble's distant, highly ranked relations for only 12,000.
What about a major noble?
Well, that would obviously. Now we start to get into. We can't necessarily guarantee that we can prove that you're related to.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who you wanted to be related to. He says.
Well, what if they're actually related to somebody?
Well, then it's much easier, much cheaper.
Okay. So we could roll that into our payment, but there would still be some sort of monetary compensation. Or
of course,
feeding a bunch of undead.
Yes. Undead. Why do we keep talking about undead?
Because the library you want to send us to, and the mausoleum we're going to have.
Oh, the mausoleum. Of course, I forgot. Sorry. My mind is filled with
Elven booze.
Genealogies and I apologize. Yes, of course. Yes. Well, certainly the document would be much easier to come by. It's just at the library. I'm sure you won't have to go into the mausoleum.
Well, since we'll be there anyway, and we would like to get some kind of decree indicating noble lineage, is there anything in particular we can pick up to help solidify that claim?
Oh, well, what were we thinking of in terms of proving our noble? What he notices boots and he says, "What were we thinking of?"
My noble cheekbones.
Yes.
Something that's for you and King to figure out.
Like what type of, what would you need to have demonstrated?
What would we need to be able to like verify? Just a familial.
So the way,
let me ask a question. Like, so if we figure out that he is actually a noble and we can prove it,
yeah,
would he then have knighthoods to give out?
It depends on the nobility.
Because that's, I think, the goal would be like, it'd be cool if we could just get knighthoods through our own means.
Right.
So on the menu of what level of nobility do you folks want? Mm-hmm. Like the higher up you go, obviously the more expensive it is, but also the kind of more impossible it becomes. Like you couldn't decide that we want to prove that Boots is Prospero Alvaro's brother. Because that dude's alive and you'd be like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
It is I.
And it's not just
Marco Valletta.
Yeah. It's not just like, hi. I remember that undead, that dead guy? It's me. And plus, it's also just like known. Like there's only certain stuff you can get away with.
Right.
Besides other heraldic societies would be like, that's bullshit. That person's, you overreached.
Right.
So the farther up you go, the more expensive it gets. And there's kind of a lesser noble rank, which would be, you would be an actual noble, right? And there would be you'd have certain rights as a result. Like you could probably carry your weapons in the city and stuff like that. And there might be you might be able to get a grant for some land and they might be able to dig that up. Some of the prince's territory might be able to be shown to be yours. But then there's like a lesser noble house, and then there's a minor noble house, and then there's a great house. And if you guys tried to say we're actually Boots is from a great house, this guy will do that for you, but that's not going to last.
Right.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to go, no, you're not.
This guy.
Not a major one, no. Well, we know what the major ones are, right?
Yeah.
A minor one, a lesser one.
So
yeah.
So whatever the one that could potentially get us space in some of the prince's territory would probably be what we're looking for.
Well, that's easy. That's quite easy. There are hundreds of forgotten noble lineages that the emperor or the prince in his time have given out, now long forgotten. That's quite easy. It's much easier than, yes, I'd be happy to. That's all you need is the rank, a title, and some minor plot of land somewhere. Then we can arrange for that.
Is your family still kicking around?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you
I didn't
planning?
leave on good terms.
Are you planning to use your same noble like surname basically with this, or are you looking to adopt
Well,
another noble name?
Yeah, house boots.
House boots.
This will be shoes.
House shoes.
I imagine this would also be a good way to find out what remains of the family that I left.
Oh, that's true.
But if you want, so that's a lesser noble house. These terms are going to sound interchangeable, but minor noble is major, great, minor, and lesser. If this is easy, but this would get you guys knighthoods. Like if you
But
want,
it would be under
the
further
medium
scrutiny.
porch.
it would be under more scrutiny, and somebody might challenge you. And it would be up to how good a job did this guy do in forging, to be blunt about it. But it's the crazy thing is that the Riojan culture and the way they do genealogy, it's
Sketchy.
It's more about what are you folks willing to do to hang on to it once this guy has proven it. Because like if you take House Alvaro, they were the most powerful house, noble house. If you go back far enough, they were just, soldiers, and they killed enough people and said, we're a noble house now.
Yeah, because I think that'd be my next question is like, okay, say it's like a lesser house.
Yeah.
How do you get to the minor level?
Well,
League?
you got to, essentially, you have to make a deal with somebody in the Privy Council. Like you get promoted.
They don't do anything.
Not currently they don't, but, that might change.
If I know my father, he scumbagged his way up the ladder as far as he did.
Did you know your father?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. That helps, he says.
Knew of him.
It gets much easier. Yes. So let me Matt. Well, actually, yeah. So let me understand what you guys are asking for. You want some money? He can take care of that. Although 20,000 gold, his hat flips. He's
What is he giving?
what?
What is he going to give it?
Well, that's gonna depend on the second half of this,
Okay.
which is you folks want him to prove that Boots is the scion of some lesser noble house or a minor noble house.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
I think we want.
Wait, so he goes major.
Minor, lesser.
And minor can give knighthoods?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
But
The
that's
lesser can't.
Correct.
Minor.
But he would still be. You could probably
But lesser ain't nothing. I could be like,
Like,
these are my
why?
bodyguards, right?
maybe.
Yeah, but we gotta think about like, are other people going to want to hire people who are already working for a lesser house? Like we're basically casting our lot in with your.
Wait, but you don't
house.
know where your house stands? Like, does he not know?
No. I mean, I don't know what Tom knows. I don't know what Boots knows. But
But wouldn't he know? Wouldn't he know? Like, I mean, if he comes from here and he grew up here or whatever, would he not know where his house stood when he left?
I mean, almost every Riojan family, including poor ones, they tell stories about how 300 years ago, we were the prince's cousin's third uncle's hairdresser, and we were a minor house.
Right.
And someday that'll happen again. We're just
Right.
biding our time.
Right.
Right? Is that true?
Yeah,
So his dad said the same thing, and his grandparents said the same thing. Is that true?
I see.
Right? And it's like, it actually doesn't matter if it's true. If you had a large enough army, you could just take over part of the city and say, hey, guess what? And people would be like, well, I guess you're nobles now.
We can have overlapping knighthoods, right? We don't have to have just one knighthood and stick with it. Can we have multiple?
There isn't really a precedent for that.
So when I went and asked about the getting the magic license or whatever, Matt basically said I would be working with that house. So I'd be casting my lot in with some minor church in the city.
Uh-huh.
So if we have Boots become a knight and then we
so
get
that's-
cast as his knights, then we're casting our lot in with Boot.
House
And I think
Boots.
it's going to limit our
Maybe.
job
Maybe
options.
not. Maybe it might do the opposite. You don't know.
Well, we could always
But yeah, you can.
pop up.
The kind of the dual allegiance thing tends to happen with church and state. So there are a lot of knights who are also bonded to cast spells. So they have both. They have the seal of a knighthood, and they have the permission from a church. That's super common. Like all the churches all sponsor their own knights, for instance, and almost every knight in the city, and there's probably like 1,200 people in the city that have a knighthood. All of them all go to a church, right? And they all tithe. So that kind of like dual allegiance is super common. But it's not. I don't know off the top of my head. I could go do some research and think about it, whether or not people are knights of more than one order at the same time. the heads of the great houses tend to be like this guy that you just met, who's a marquis. He's a member of a great house. Mm-hmm. He lists several different knightly orders in his history, but most of them are defunct now. They're just hereditary. These hereditary titles that pass on. They're not going concerns. That's as close as you get. So like when that herald announces him, he goes, he belongs to this order and he belongs to that order. And he does this, that, and the other thing. But a lot of these things, they're real, but they're old and they're not active. Anyway. So
Commander, I don't think it'll hurt to have some sort of attachment to possibility of having lands within capital.
Yeah, I just don't think we need the one that gives us knighthoods, since that's going to cast the Matt's World Eye of Sauron.
But what if he's the only one left of that house?
that would be that would be the understanding.
Yeah.
Was that these guys would be basically inventing a noble house for you.
But he wants to
Keep in
challenge
mind what your guardian angel said. We don't want to be in their pocket.
Well, that's different. Like he's not offering to make you knights of the Heraldric Society. He can do that, by the way.
He's not offering to make us knights at all. He's just offering to.
He's offering to do the thing they do, which is
Allow Boots to reclaim
prove
his
that you
noble
guys prove that Boots has noble lineage, which he might. That's the thing about Riohan genealogy, is that it's the wheel of fortune. It's a big part of their culture, is the idea that right now House Alvaro is super powerful, but just wait a couple generations and there'll be a bunch of homeless people and it'll be it for them.
The thing is, if we go the route of getting Boots into a minor noble house, basically, like if we're not doing anything to draw attention to that particular bit, we'll probably be okay for the most part. And if anybody tries to challenge it, Boots is a noble to some degree or another, and we can defend against it if need be. We can also use his noble house as a way to like prop up and do things for the city that we would not otherwise have that freedom to do, like, you know, charities or whatever the fuck people do in Rioja, to try and gain favor with the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do charities?
But calling ourselves
You know what I mean?
the Knights of
I know what
Boots
you're talking about.
is gonna draw attention to that.
That'll work. Like if you guys spend money, support charities and stuff like that, then it gets harder and harder for other people to challenge your legitimacy without them looking bad. Even though everyone understands, you just made that up. It's like, but look at all these people that are benefiting. Yeah, exactly. And what it's going to come down to is if somebody challenged you guys, it would be like a duel. It would be like it would be the first thing that would happen would be
my beer.
It would be exactly. It would be a duel of honor.
I've always been
right. Somebody would accuse you of being of low birth. Is the phrase they would put, and then you would challenge them and say, you know, you're impugning my family honor, and they'd have to fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if there are
huge
these,
crowd,
if
people
there are
would love
these
that.
like Ronin knights within the city, like the prince's forces that are kind of scattered around, you know, they're probably in the same boat as we are, where they don't want to be beholden to Shiromi or like some other guild or house or anything like that. So, you know, we might be able to get in good with them. Like this noble title thing, this isn't going to usurp my service and dedication to the chain.
Oh no, that's not what I'm talking about.
It's just a tool
at all. Yeah, this.
The secret handshake. The secret handshake is not very secret, as it turns out.
No, that's
we all have our own thing.
Anyway, so this guy is willing to pay you guys 3,000 gold and prove that Boots is the scion of a minor house. Or he'll pay you 8,000 gold and prove that Boots is the scion of a lesser house.
Our cops
So you can take
are equal.
You can take
the minor house.
Minor
house.
OD's extremely excited.
Minor house. And we'll take the job
This
now.
guy's a terrible negotiator.
Terrible, you say.
You brought me down.
This guy, not you. He'll agree to that. So you want him to go prove that he's going to want to know like your real name and stuff.
All right.
He'll tell you to come by. The process will start when you come by and you're interviewed by the guys at the Heraldric Society, and then they'll start digging.
Excellent.
So in capital, does it
He'll have a
matter if
contract
you're
for you guys. He'll have a contract drawn up for you.
Okay.
They're great
capital,
contracts.
does it really matter if you're a noble from somewhere else?
No, it depends what you mean.
Well, like what kind of benefit does that gain? Could I cast spells and walk around if I prove who I am?
Well, no, because just being a noble doesn't automatically mean you can cast spells.
Okay.
It's all about accountability. Like if you get into a fight on the streets and you have to cast spirit guardians and stuff like that, somebody's going to find out about it and they're going to say, "Hey, you're under arrest." And if you're like, you can pull out a seal showing that you've been bonded by the church in your case, then they're going to be like, "Okay, now if I want to arrest you, I have to deal with the church." And that's the thing that's going to stop them from doing it, because it's illegal to use magic in the city unless you're bonded.
And then from Elithwith, we also need the fake seals, obviously.
Oh yeah, he has those with him. He has those with him. They're wax seals. They look. If you remember when Nero showed up and was like, "Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?" and he pulled out. That's a knight's seal he showed you because he is a knight. He just didn't happen to be a cop, right? So they look like that. They look like those, except the only difference is they're smaller, and they're elaborately stamped. They're wax on brass medallions wrapped in gold rope, and he has 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. He has 6 of them. 6
and big
and it says on them, the Royal Heraldic Society, bonded seal for couriers. You do not interfere with this courier's job under penalty of this.
It's made out of wax, you said?
It's brass with a wax stamp.
I won't bite it.
No, we're not going to want to cast spells until we're inside, by the way.
But what was the casting? This is just like weapons. Casting spells is
casting spells is not a part of this thing that we just
technically illegal.
Privacy of your own home.
But saying, "Hey, I'm a noble," they don't care. They're gonna like. You're disturbing the peace.
Put you in noble jail.
This just gets us to the library, right?
Yeah.
Like
unchallenged. Library with our weapons.
That's the idea.
Like once we're in the catacomb or whatever that thing is, then I'll probably find to use spells.
Yeah.
If we go there, when we go.
Yep.
I was gonna ask. So you mentioned that like a church can bond you, so you can cast spells whenever you're in the city.
Yeah, if you're a cleric.
How does that work if you're not a cleric?
Say that again.
How does that work if you're not a cleric?
Well, it depends on what kind of spell. It depends on so a church is a lot less likely to vouch for a wizard and give a wizard a seal. But it's for.
How does this work for like a warlock, for example?
So a warlock is probably going to have to go to one of the colleges and probably make a donation. But then you'd get a seal from that college.
Oh, okay.
And
just for a donation.
Would it work the same for me, or do I need to?
I would imagine that you would probably have to go to like a church.
A church of Asmodeus.
Well,
I can't go to a normal church.
There are churches to evil gods in Rioja.
Yeah, but what about to Asmodeus?
I don't know that there might be a cult to Asmodeus, but they won't. They're also illegal.
Maybe I'll have to have a look around. Does it have to be within the stays, or can I go into the city? Like if there's like a church to Asmodeus or something like that in the Tiefling area. But then I guess whoever I'm proving this to is probably gonna be like, "Is this?"
You could just cast spells and not get caught.
You guys have gotten away with that. You guys have gotten away with that so far.
Yeah, do that.
And it also depends on the circumstances. But let me go do some research and get back. In fact, let me make a note.
Sure.
You basically just need somebody to.
I can't show up to Donegal and be like, "Let me join your."
You wouldn't want to do that, but it's sort of a lesser version of getting a knight's seal. Is that there's some organization in the city that's going to vouch for you and say, "Yep, we gave them they," and for some organizations it's just a fee you pay. There might be a civic organization.
Sounds pretty interesting. I feel like that's also a judge's alley, considering his history. No, because it's about political endeavors.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. I know that there are places in the city where getting bonded to cast spells isn't any more complex than like going to the DMV. Right. That being said, it's still, like the state of California gave you a document. So ultimately, that's the jurisdiction. And judge probably more than most people, is super interested in exactly who stamped this, because not everyone is going to be okay giving an ill rigor. You might be able to. Yeah, let me think about it.
Okay.
But just a donation for me.
Well, I think anybody can just pay a lot of money and
a lot. Donation.
Well, you're also Celestial pack, so Celestials are
We'll look at him.
quote unquote good.
But look at them. Well, but drow, there are drow in the stays, not the stays, the layers. So people are familiar with drow. You guys are civilized. You're not barbarians. So the herald is just delighted that you'll take the job. You take the job. You take the job. Also, obviously, if you find our courier, we would love to have her returned to us. But obviously, the most important thing is the document.
We'll bring the bones back.
Yes, dead or alive. Could I keep the body?
I'm sorry. It sounded like you said, "Can I keep the body?"
No,
Don't mind.
What he's asking is, can you give us a description of this courier so that?
Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gonna just like kick Leech's shin under the table.
You
just a
don't
little
ask
bit.
it, you just do it.
Yeah, junior officers don't talk at the
negotiations.
negotiation of jobs
big boy
table.
table.
He writes down on like on a piece of paper. He writes down the name, the document number that he wants. Right? It's like a long serial number.
Dewey Decimal.
And he's like, "This is the document we need."
Okay, so the courier went to get this document but
Correct.
never came back.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Reading over the thing that he
Highly
gives
unusual.
us, can we tell what this is that he's looking for?
No, it's a incomprehensible. It's just like a serial number.
Okay.
It doesn't in any way indicate what.
Serial number. Okay.
It doesn't in any way, like if you give it to the librarian, presumably the librarian's going to know. Oh yeah, this is based on this. It's going to be here. But he told you what it was. He said that it was a.
Right.
He said that it would just prove that this one. It's kind of the same thing you're asking to do with boots.
Would this kind of thing get reported in the broadsheets?
I have no idea. I don't read the broadsheets.
You don't read the broadsheets.
No.
Everybody in Capital reads the broadsheets.
No, I don't know who told you that.
All right, well, never mind. Let's see if we can get good press from this noble. See if we can help them out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Is like, can we
Maybe
tell
we can.
which noble it might be?
Well, maybe
Maybe we can get good press from clearing out the undead.
Well, people might be like, "That was my grandmother." You're like, "Oh, sorry."
We'll put on
she's
our
resting
sunglasses.
again.
Sorry,
Says hi.
I'm trying to.
You eating your vegetables?
Right. Yeah, it's the House
You never call.
You
Brunedetti.
cleaned your room?
House Brunedetti is a now dead house, and they're trying to prove that somebody here in the stays is the legitimate heir to House Brunedetti.
Brunedetti?
Yeah. It's a perfectly straightforward thing to do. People do it all the time. I assure you, he says that the young man paying for this is actually legitimately. We have demonstrated beyond reproach that the young man is the legitimate heir to House Brunedetti, a lesser house, a minor house. It's just this one deed from the prince that demonstrates the provenance of House Brunedetti's noble charter.
We just want to make sure that he knows that we helped him.
Oh, absolutely. If that's part of our deal, then I will make sure that the young man knows who he owes who his benefactors are.
All
Poor sad elf.
right. You can go
kill some
You can go
undead.
get that contract now.
He'll go get the contract and he'll
Kill something.
He's
Kill some.
he's on the island. He's actually in the same district you guys are in. So he comes back later that day with quite elaborately drawn out contract. This is much more kind of like compared to the Lady Serial contract or the Dead Guy contract. This one is huge, flowery writing all over it. It's got expensive parchment and all these crazy inks on
I
it.
get 20,000 gold, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
they
probably
are-
pretty typical template stuff for Heraldric Society,
This
though.
is, it's all about
They're
presentation.
like layout artists, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that he said he was doing costs, what was it?
I cast
It's-
InDesign.
But it's a slightly different contract than the one you signed with the undead guy. It doesn't say anything about you can't say who you're working for. It's literally just if you get this document and it show the document number the same as the one he gave you, and it gives a short description demonstrating that House Brunedetti got its noble charter from the prince, that they will pay you and that they will provide documents demonstrating the provenance of House Boots. So if it doesn't say House Boots, it probably has his name on it.
Bootsamus.
Because between lunch and now, you're gonna have to go tell them, like, go get interviewed. But we'll probably do that offline.
Cool.
So
Something.
yeah, you guys.
That means whenever we complete this,
So he signs
That'd be
it.
your last name
He
on
signs it and then he hands it to you.
I tear it up.
Sign it.
He blows on the ink to make it dry, and then he curls it up and says, "It's been a pleasure dealing with you. I must say, I've never hired mercenaries before. It was a lot less painless than I imagined.
Mm-hmm.
well, we'll have to see how that goes.
A lot less painless.
A lot more painless. A lot more painless. It was a lot less painful than he imagined. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Good luck." And he takes off.
Good luck to you,
Oh, thank you.
good sir.
Thank you. And I look forward to demonstrating what all the world should know, which is your family's noble lineage.
Me too.
All right, so now you guys are on the hook to go to this library and go get this document.
I don't like that creature.
No, sir. He also gave me an uneasy feeling.
There is an old saying in the old language. It loosely translates to, "Guy's got no chill."
I would say that's accurate. So it is 8:30-ish. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to start the next adventure. So I think we're gone for 10 minutes, and then we will return. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you on the flip side. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We are back, and to reward those few people who hang out after the break, because I realize if you're on the East Coast, it is now late, and if you're on another continent, it's like
night.
Sunday or some shit. Now is when we tend to feature the art that people have created inspired by the nonsense that we get up to. It is curated by Lars, who spends his time before the stream going and collating all of the amazing stuff people have created. So if you made something and it's not in here, it's his fault. So I think there's a button. No, that's not it. I think fan art. There we go. All right.
Buttons?
I'm just going to press this button and see what happens. And we're all
I'll
watch
turn
it
around.
together.
I'll get a better view.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Hey, that's me.
Yes, I love this art style. It's so cool.
Hey, cat, it's not.
not the weirdest. He was blowing the carpet. The cat's like, wow. Holy crap.
I like that his tentacles all wrapped around Copper. Like, oh my
Don't want to
god.
follow?
Keep him safe.
Yeah.
Look at this.
This is crazy.
This is
I
somebody.
thought this was a dude at first. I thought
Yep.
someone like dressed
You're
up
not
like
the only
boots. I
one.
was like, holy
This is
shit.
somebody like
Yeah.
3D modeled.
That handsome man.
Look at that. Look at those boots. Yeah.
The
that's-
hair is amazing too.
Yeah.
Just like the texture.
Yeah.
They like modeled engraving into the boots and stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I love
This
this.
is
so great.
awesome.
There's all
I just saw
kinds of
this
stuff on
today.
the
Yeah.
shelves.
Yeah. I think
there's a Pikachu up
There's a
there.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
We were saying it looks like Adventure
There's
Time.
like a
Welcome to the permanent transient.
The one coming out though.
There you go, Matt.
I love everything.
Oh yeah, this is great. Yes, sir. Even though I
Oh,
cannot
when
see
you're
you.
stacking all the stuff.
There it is.
A
For a
vase.
second.
Some dice.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Sir.
Just like Slim's
I
expression
love this
is
stuff.
so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's another.
Oh, yes.
Oh wait, it looks like me.
Look at the trees.
It made the trees look like three guys look like me.
He's even wearing like a Rush tunic.
Like a Rush shirt. Oh, different parts of the
I
shirt.
also am Sumat Pole. Yeah, people liked Sumat Pole. No surprise.
Look, it's the gauntlet.
Ripped off something really cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at that.
Whoa.
There we go.
Yeah, this guy's art's. I mean, this person's
That's like
art
a
is
Renaissance
amazing.
painting of
Blimey.
Slim.
Right, like accidental
That's
Renaissance.
so cool.
Yeah. Look at that Slim's haircut looks fucking amazing to me.
That's incredible.
It's a new style.
Right.
Yeah, there's the map of
Yeah.
Apple that
We were just looking at
The
that.
most helpful fan
Yes,
art
we've been using this at the table.
yes, actually,
Yeah.
and there might be an updated version of this. I got this one from several days ago, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That stuff is dope. It's amazing to us that we inspire people to create this stuff. Was there anything else we needed to talk about? Jerry, what was the name of the person that threw $100 into the sub pool?
Oh yeah.
Steal your mind.
Steal your mind. Thank you very much. We have one of the most like. If you are watching this episode live on Twitch and you notice that you have a subscription, and you're wondering where that come from, there are tons of people in our chat that just buy gift subscriptions to other people, which is remarkable to me. There's a ton of them. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It helps keeps the lights on and the doors open. So anyway, so you guys are going to head over to the Pellet.
Yes.
The Pellet, it's called that because it's like a lozenge-looking island that is smaller than the Stays, but still heavily populated. Still correct. Yep.
Pellet shape.
Oh, right there.
Yep. But the actual, yeah.
Now I know where I'm going.
Orient yourself.
I don't need any of this stuff anymore. I don't need this stuff. We did that.
It's all the information that I missed out on by
pages and pages of stuff.
I'm gonna have to roll for my nobility, and I'll like roll a 2, and it's just like, you've just inherited a shitload of debt. And
yeah, exactly.
Welcome to prison.
That would be great. That would be amazing.
Debtor's prison.
That would be a pretty good way to represent a bad roll on that. So you guys, there's a couple of ways to get there. They do have docks. You could take the Somnium Tenebris, or you could just take a ferry over there. If you take a ferry, you're going to have to get on the ferry, you're going to have to show your badges. We don't need no stink, sorry.
Wouldn't we have to do that if we use the dock?
Yeah, except if you use the Somnium Tenebris. So if you use the ferry, you have to show your courier badges to get on the ferry, right? If you want to use the Somnium Tenebris, you'd have to show your courier badges and your papers, by the way, because you're coming off a ship. You'd have to, which you already have. You wouldn't have to go through customs. You already have papers, but you'd have to go through a city gate like you did to get into the Stays in the first place.
Wait in line.
Well, you guys have your papers, so it's not that big a deal. Oh. The line in customs is for people that are arriving for the capital for the first time. Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, I did not put enough hairspray in.
Maybe we should take our ship so that
that's true.
He can talk to Butts about his sin metal real quick.
That's true.
Hand
Yeah.
off his sin metal.
Oh, there you go.
So I need to get my stuff done too.
Because you guys, there's other stuff that we need to hand off to Butts to research. While
We've had a night then, right? It's the next morning.
It's up to you. I assume so. Yeah.
Okay. Then before I meditate,
it's now been 2 days since you guys finished up with Sumapol.
Right. Okay. I don't think
everything that just happened was the day after that.
I don't think.
And this is the day after that.
I never
disgusting.
Cast OD. He got eaten, and I had a bit of peace and quiet for a couple of days.
Yeah, well,
it was fine. So the night before I rest for my 4 hours, I summoned it back.
I thought you could escape me. I'm back.
Hello, OD. I need to rest now, if you don't mind. And then I have 4 hours terrible rest. The only just flaps around my head, irritating.
Hey, what you doing? What you doing?
Yeah. Hey, wake up.
You guys have time to go?
Yeah, so what do you want to talk to Butts about? Butts is a retainer. Butts is an enchanter, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sort of right now serving as, I guess she's like the staff sorcerer for the chain right now. Because she's probably the highest ranking wizard that you folks have. The wizard.
Can I take the sin metal? Would I be able to carry it? I'm not very strong. I don't know if it's like
it's very light.
Oh, it is?
Well,
Okay.
Super light.
You want to hand off that and probably your heart, right? So
Yeah, I've got it.
Figuring that out. And
I guess
you
we'll
have-
both go and see it.
Well, you don't have
Yeah.
your stuff yet, though, right?
Correct. I didn't walk out with anything.
It's going to take at least a couple of days for the stuff you've got. Some of the things you folks asked the curator for is going to take longer than others.
Mm-hmm.
But probably at the end of this next adventure, you'll get your first batch of shit from the curator.
Right on.
Let's go, Judge. Let's go see Butts.
Well, yeah, Butts is she's everywhere you need her to be. She could be in the Somnium Tenebris, or she could be at the
We
at the
summon
Princess
her.
Court. Oh yeah, okay. She'll
No, okay.
That's easier.
she'll come by
I don't know what she said.
she'll
Here.
come by the Pharaoh's Dream, and she'll salute.
So we have a couple of things for you.
Yes, sirs.
For enchanting, I've got this. Like unceremoniously dump out the demon's heart on the table.
She's like, "Oh, come to me!" Like she's,
I don't know if you want to touch it with your bare hands.
of course, yeah. Well, I'm sure it's fine, but you never know. Like,
Okay. Well, I'll trust you with it. I need to have you investigate this and figure out how we can imbue the essence of this into a sword that I can use to help improve its ability to slay demons.
she can do that. Yeah.
Okay. I can't give you my sword now because I need it, but when I'm back, I can give it to you.
Sir, I just so you know, I don't have a lot of experience with demon hearts specifically, but that being said, it shouldn't be that different from, for instance, a manticore heart, and I have dealt with those before. So I think that if we have a blacksmith that we trust, then it shouldn't be that difficult. It would take some money and some time.
I believe Senior Officer Slim has blacksmithing capabilities.
Excellent.
Yes, I make excellent weapons.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that as the weapon master.
So yeah, she's happy to take care of that for you. It just means that she's going to have to work with Slim. It's going to take like days. Like you guys have to spend several. In fact, there's a chart somewhere. It might even be in Strongholds and Followers. You have to look up because there are rules in Strongholds and Followers for how to do this stuff. And so it's going to take some time. And so that's obviously not something that Slim can do while he's on this job.
Right.
But that can be kind of downtime. So this is something I think we talked about offline. Mm-hmm. So you guys are literally about to go off on this job. And then after that job, you're going to have some downtime. But if you wait till then to tell me what you want to do, I'm not going to have the content ready for it. So between now and the end of this next adventure, and I have no idea how long this adventure is going to take, if you guys want to do stuff, like I know the judge would like to go into the city and go inspect the tiefling population. I think King wants to go get bonded so he can cast spells and stuff like that. Let me know, and I can get that stuff ready so that during the downtime, we can take care of it. Maybe we take care of it on stream. Maybe we do it offline. Doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. But yeah, I guess in the meantime, like while we're out doing this thing, if she just needs to do any additional research into demon hearts and how they might be a little bit different, that'd be a good use of her time until we're back and Slim can help her.
I'd be happy to. Nothing will make her happier than researching how to use demon hearts, how to fuse a demon heart into a weapon.
Oh, I think this probably already happened, but I had given her the microscope that we had found.
Oh, nice, very nice. Yes, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes. Now, Senior Officer Leach, congratulations on your promotion.
Is he senior?
He's not senior.
No.
Never mind. You haven't been promoted.
I am.
Too fast.
I am.
OD specifically.
Under no circumstance are we going to promote you. We're not fools.
I am permitted to accompany these fine warriors on these adventures after we journeyed to the Underdark together. I have this metal butt. I believe it's known as sin metal. Very strong butt.
Okay, she's equally, she now has a demon heart and she has a giant chunk of sin metal ore. And
what can be done with this? I'm not entirely sure. I'd like you to investigate. Could it be made into an armor that I could wear? I can't wear such grand armor as Master Slim, but maybe something lesser.
We might be able to make you something very fine with this. But what were you like? She doesn't have any. I don't have any. I don't know what the word she would use is. I don't know the technique for forging sin metal. I'm sure we could learn it and figure it out. Some research on my part will get us there. But what were you hoping? What kind of metal would you? What kind of armor would you like? She asks. Like you're a
something.
You're a warlock.
Leather.
Doesn't armor interfere with your spell casting or your?
Maybe
Butts asks.
Leather studded, something like that.
Okay.
Light armor.
Studded leather is light armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You cast mage armor. That's one of the things you took.
I don't think I can stack it, right?
Well, no, but you want it. You'd want it to be armor that you can use with your mage armor.
Oh, okay.
So as in, it's not conveying you an armor. I'd have to look at how it works.
Okay.
But you want to use your mage armor because it's going to be better than that.
Maybe.
Right.
So really, what she needs is she needs like a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Right, she needs a blueprint, and she doesn't have any. So that's the kind of thing that you guys may have to do research on your own. Otherwise, it's just going to be like any of these ores, like Zodiacal or Sin Metal or Lianar, the Sun Metal. You can do all sorts of crazy things with them. You can make all sorts of stuff out of Sin Metal, but the kind of base, like I don't know anything about how to work this stuff. If you just make armor out of it, it will have the base property of Sin Metal, which is if it's a weapon, it's spell storing. if it's armor, it negates sunlight sensitivity.
Well, aren't we going into a library where they probably have information on this kind of thing?
Maybe it's not like a.
Let's ask the library.
Yeah.
It's more of a civic library. It's not like a university. It's not like it's not the libraries you get at the university, which often are arcane, and they do have.
So
But
it's
they
One
may know
has
something.
Dr. Seuss books and
Correct.
I
Yeah.
see.
dictionaries.
And dead people underneath.
so she can't research this.
They really
stuff
need
for
some
me.
funding.
She won't.
She's never worked sin metal before. She's a wizard. What you want, Slim is going to do all the work. She's just going to make sure that the properties of the sin metal aren't destroyed in the process. That's what she can do as a wizard.
Okay.
So he's going to make armor out of it, and she's going to observe and make sure that the process results in the sin metal keeping its properties. But there are all sorts of different things you can do with sin metal, but it requires lore that she doesn't know. So you can get the base model with no add-ons for free, or you can do some research, talk to the right people, go find a magical laboratory, and do something crazy with it that she doesn't know anything about.
Okay.
She just knows it can be done.
All right. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I leave it with her or not.
Well, Slim's your blacksmith, so he's going to be going with you.
She could just research.
She'll,
it,
yeah,
probably,
leave the stuff with her.
Okay.
Sir, leave the stuff with me. She doesn't call you sir. You're equals.
It's in the boat.
Leave the stuff with me,
Safe,
fellow junior
more
officer.
or less. Yeah.
And she'll start doing research. But then when Slim has downtime, he can forge his stuff, or you could take it to another blacksmith. It doesn't have to be Slim. Like you could just leave this if you knew a good blacksmith, you could just leave this with them, and Butts would help with the forging of it to make sure it stayed.
Yeah, but I don't know what I want to do with it. Okay, if there's other stuff I can investigate, I might be able to make it better than being just base. Then I don't want to start forging it right now.
Okay. Well, let me write down that's something you guys want to look at.
Yeah.
What other things can be done?
It's also one of those things where it's like, if it turns out that to get bonded, that me and Leech need to go to the university in order to make a donation of some sort for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if the university is the place that has recipes for this kind of thing, maybe we bring Butts with us, or we can try and pick something up for her to bring back.
The College of Sorcery and Capital is the greatest storehouse of arcane knowledge in the world.
Oh my God,
There
she'll
we
be
go, then.
insufferable.
That's
We
where
can't
we
bring
need
her
to
with us.
No, we'll just go on our own.
Okay. She want to touch everything.
So yeah, you folks are
Let's go.
on your. So how are you going to get to the pellet? Are you going to take a ferry? Or are you going to take your boat?
We're on the boat, aren't we? Oh no, we
we
summoned
called
her,
it
didn't we?
summoned her,
Yeah. How conspicuous do we want to be?
No, bold enough
I
in
am
a big
actually-
boat.
conspicuous.
am interested in seeing if we can park the boat over there, but we can just take a ferry. That seems
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say public transport.
All right.
We're going outside, aren't we? In the sun.
Where's your parasol?
Put the parasol up, OD.
So the you go to, I think it's the north end of the stays. It stays is kind of kidney shaped, and there are lots of ferries, and you can see from where you are, and during a bright sunny day, you can see the island. It's only a few miles away. Yep.
South end.
Yeah, but I think the map actually ends up being oriented a little bit more clockwise. It depends. It depends.
Okay.
But yeah, from your point of view, the south end.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are lots of ferries, and there are guards. There are gold buttons and marines. Many gold buttons, a few marines, and the gold buttons stop you because you guys are wearing fucking armor and you look like mercenaries. And it is time for you to produce your.
We've all got one each, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Boots, why don't you, on behalf of the team as the face man, why don't you make a standby? I've got a better Dungeon Master screen now
Number one.
that has useful things on it as
You
opposed to
have?
yes. Make a persuasion check because you're trying to pass these things off as something they are not.
Oh wait, I thought this was the legit one. I
You
thought
guys
we
aren't.
got courier ones.
Yeah, courier, but you
Before I do it.
correct, but
But
couriers,
we're dressed.
but couriers aren't allowed to carry weapons.
Yeah.
So you guys are trying to pass yourself off as knights.
Oh.
Like,
Okay.
That's your understanding is if you just pull these things out like that guy did to you with his
How
knighthood,
the fuck did this group think we were gonna do this
Huh?
without weapons?
they're assuming that you are going to bluff your way onto the island with your weapons. And that's what the courier seals are for. Is you guys are like, hey, we're courier, hey, we're knights. And they go, oh yeah, of course you guys are fucking knights. Look at you.
I rolled a 1 again.
But
fucking hell. I'm a bard, so it's still a 15.
Oh, wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, he gave me guidance too.
Jeez.
On business for the Fulcrum, right?
All his bonuses.
His minimum, if he is go explain it. Yeah, it's a bard ability.
Oh.
So yeah, I've got
Bullshit is what it is.
jack of all trades and expertise. So my persuasion is a +10.
Plus 10. And then where'd you get the other 5 from? Oh,
That.
I got
Roll
a
4 on guidance.
D4 from King.
+10.
I thought there was a bard ability that meant that there's a minimum threshold, like the
Oh, that's
least.
coming, baby.
Okay, sorry.
We're getting there.
That's even more bullshit. That's the two things in 5th edition that really made me go, what? Was that bard nonsense, and also Gertz's paladin thing, where if you're within 10 feet of him, you get his charisma bonus on top of yours, and he's +5 for your saving throws. I was like, you have got to die. Like that. I gotta kill this
You
guy.
got to go. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So
He gave me a +11.
yeah, you
so.
you don't have to happily. Boots is a good face man, and even his least convincing bluff is enough for these low-level bureaucrats. A 15 is pretty good. You don't have, so as a result, no graft is necessary. You folks are able to get onto the ferry without having to grease anybody's palms, so to speak.
I see. Okay.
And it's the ferry is a large, wide, flat ship. There are carriages on it. It takes only it takes about, I think, about half an hour to cross from the stays to the pellet. And now you disembark and you're on another island, still part of capital. Looks very different. The stays are this crazy metropolitan city, effectively. This much smaller city looks like it's built on a bunch of Roman ruins. Right, there's a whole bunch of, and not just ruins, like a whole bunch of buildings that are in the Roman, or as you guys would think of it, the Commonwealth style. And it just broadcasts that this whole place, all of capital, was once the seat of the Kalian Empire. And then there's just tons of suburban houses there. As you guys walk down the main thoroughfare to the library, you're on the Via Oliva. You pass lots of theaters and restaurants and streets with nice middle-class houses on it, 1-story, 2-story. The only buildings that are taller than that are the Romanesque stone buildings with huge columns in front of them. And it takes you guys about 20 minutes walk. Actually, no, I lied. It takes you guys about 2 hours to walk your way. I'm just thinking of the scale of the city. It takes you guys about 2 hours to get to the gate that separates Olive Precinct from the Columns. Those are the 2 different districts in the pellet. And getting past with your courier badges, getting through the gate is easy. There's a crowd of people waiting to get through, but you guys are able to go through essentially the VIP line. And the only difference between the 2 districts is that there's more of these Roman civic buildings around. And the largest one, which is huge, is the library. It's on a hill, and it's a major landmark. It is the dot, the kind of power center that is on the map.
Right. Cool.
That's not the Opera House.
Where did you think we're going, Copper?
Schmuck, you need to roll your dice, by the way. Get that curse out of here, both of them.
Oh, okay.
I just have to rewrite my adventures and just assume you guys are going to roll really badly on this stuff. You should let
There
me
you go.
By the way,
you got that one out.
I have a pitch. This is actually what the library looks like, by the way.
Maybe I have to put it down my pants or something.
Whatever it takes.
Those of you, you folks watching right now probably already know this, but Patreon supporters at the $5 level and above get access to my notes before the adventure, before the session. And then once this entire adventure is wrapped up, and my notes are at that point finished, because right now they're not, then I put it up and everybody can watch. So those of you who have been on Patreon and look, I've already seen this, but this is what the library looks like.
Pretty big
Take the library
building.
for my town.
Yeah, it's pretty. As far as medieval fantasy buildings go, this is one of the largest you folks have seen in capital. So cool. And you notice in both districts of the pellets on the pellet, you notice the Prince's Guards, which are the Red Falcons, they're a military force on the city. They're effectively the cops. And they have red breastplates with a highly stylized bird on it, a falcon. And they don't give you, they're just patrolling the city. They tend to go in 2s and 3s. They're at the gates and stopping people from getting through and inspecting their stuff. They let you guys by with no problem. And the library has huge double doors up front, and people are coming and going. None of them look like you folks. They're all mostly Riohan, which is to say human. You're a goblin on a displacer beast, and you're a you're a devil man.
I was gonna say, what's up with all these tall people? Actually, I am just as high.
I think you might be sitting on a displacer beast. I think you're taller than a normal person. So you're looking down at all these people. And so there is definitely a change in people's reaction to you from Olive Precinct to the Columns, because in Olive Precinct, you still have a lot of people coming by from the stays, right? And so somebody that looks like a devil man or a gith or a goblin riding a displacer beast is not that unusual. But once you guys get into the Columns, this is definitely super like suburban Riohan capital, and people are freaked out, and they make a wide berth. And the cops, the Red Falcons, when they see you come by, they don't stop you, but they do kind of put their hands on their weapons and they watch, right? They stop whatever conversation they're having and they give you guys the eye and just watch you go by. The stairs up to the library are it's a huge marble building. The columns are massive. The doors are wide open. It's the middle of the day, and you folks are free to enter.
All right.
And enter we shall.
Enter.
In we go.
The interior of the library is not as well lit as this, but it looks like this.
Okay.
And you can tell that there's an upstairs based on this. Well, actually here, I'm not sure. No, there's an upstairs, but it's out and up. So there are wings that go off to the left and the right. And there is when you enter, there is a large reference desk. There are several people working behind it, but there is a woman who has a whole bunch of parchment spread out on the desk. She's the only person that's customer facing. And she's writing and scribbling. Her fingers are ink stained. She's got a quill, ink pen, and she's just got a ton of papers spread out all over the place.
I think that's our lady.
Yeah. I approach her.
She sees you. She's and she starts gathering up her papers and trying to get them in order. And then she looks at your outfits and notices you guys obviously aren't Red Falcons. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought for a moment I thought this was some kind of inspection." And she kind of starts. You're obviously not. I don't know where you are.
We're here to pick up a document for the Heraldric Society.
Oh, would that be the Prince's Honorable Society, or would that be? And she starts listing different.
Can we just give her the piece of
One
paper?
of them, yes.
Yeah.
Can we just give her the piece of paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say one that's lesser
Right.
than, and then her not want to help us.
Yeah. A courier was sent here and went missing. And because they went missing, they sent us. So
I had nothing to do with it.
okay.
Am I under arrest?
Well, we give her the description
We don't have
of
the authority for that
Oh, thank goodness.
because we're not police.
Just what she
Why would you say that?
You should
Calm her
ask a
down.
question.
Anyways,
I feel like I interrupted something. I apologize. Just tell me about this. Tell me about this courier. Courier went missing.
so you said we got the description, but you didn't actually give it to us, so we give her the description.
Okay.
Have you talked to that person?
Oh, I see lots of people come in the library. Maybe if you looked around, maybe they're just engrossed in a book.
Don't we have a document?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the slip of paper with the serial code, right?
Tell
Yes.
her to get this document.
Yeah, I was trying to see.
She's
if
just
the
trying to
person
get
was around.
information.
Oh, I thought she was dead.
We don't know that for sure. She went missing.
She's dead.
She's dead. Anyway, would you be able to help us find this document? And I give her the.
Well, it is my job, she says. And she takes it and she's like, just a moment. And she goes under the desk and she pulls out a large, and puts a card catalog on, and she's like, no, wrong one. and puts it back, and she looks around and disappears behind this large marble counter, and you hear her like opening drawers and closing drawers, and she goes, and she puts this thing on. She goes, okay. Well, you're talking about the going into the basement. Into the basement.
If that's where it is.
It is. If this can be found anywhere, it'll be in the basement. This is a very old document. This has been here for hundreds of years, probably. Normally off limits to senior, except to senior staff. By the way, she is wearing a rapier at her hip. Mm-hmm. She is dressed in the classic Riohan style.
Well, can you take us to this document?
Well, I can get you to the basement, but at that point, I think you're going to be on your own.
Very well.
I try to avoid going down there whenever possible.
Why is that?
Yeah, but you'll have us.
Well, some of the documents down there have a mind of their own. Books are dangerous things.
Knowledge is power.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, well, take us to the entrance.
And also maybe leave us with like some directions.
Right.
She pulls out. She has this. She grabs a blank piece of parchment, and she basically draws a rough map of the library on it, and it looks kind of like a key to the library. And there's stairs down over here. And well, actually, no. She's gonna go with you. She'll accompany you because she has to unlock the thing. So she has a huge key ring on the hip opposite her rapier, and she says, "Follow me. It'll be a great adventure."
Does she have a layout of the
once we're inside?
Yeah, the basement.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened to the last person that tried to map the place.
How we?
But maybe you could do it.
So nobody else has come here in the past couple days looking for this document?
For this document?
Mm-hmm.
Not as far as I know.
Oh.
But I mean, she doesn't know what it is. It's just she just knows where it would be found.
Well, has anyone else gone down in the basement in the last few days?
Oh yeah, there was the chief librarian was down there earlier today, and yesterday we had to send someone down to get. And she lists off different instances, but it's all senior library staff go down there.
And
I've been down there. I've been down there a couple of times, and I made it back.
Oh, and did these other people return?
Yeah, of course, yes, certainly, yeah. But they're all experienced.
No non-staff.
They're all experienced librarians.
No non-staff has been below in the basement for some time, it seems.
I don't think so. I don't know if I would know.
Who would know?
You guys don't have like a check-in sheet?
Not for as long as senior staff lets somebody in, then I'm sure somebody, if you're wondering who has been down here before.
Wondering if somebody has been down there in the past couple of days.
Yeah, but she wouldn't know that.
The description. Okay.
But then you say
there's like hundreds of people work here.
There's a senior librarian that went down there earlier today. Or?
Yeah, well, the chief of staff went down there.
Well,
the guy who runs the library went down there.
Is the chief of staff here? Could you ask then?
Well, probably tomorrow if you want to come back. I could probably get you an appointment with him.
What's the craziest thing you've seen gone down in this basement?
Well, there are definitely some. There are records down there that certify certain events and noble houses, and the nobles whose house it is have a vested interest in protecting their documents. It's nothing. I'm sure nothing you folks won't be able to handle. I mean, look at that remarkable sword you've got.
That's kind of interesting.
Is it typical for librarians to be armed?
Of course, yes. Libraries are.
Is anybody trying to steal books?
Libraries are dangerous places.
Libraries are dangerous places. Yes,
especially for weak fools.
Knowledge is power. Sometimes.
What if this courier just took the money and left? He didn't even.
Why didn't he turn up? Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe just split and ran. They wouldn't pay him before, though, right?
Very inefficient to not.
She's like, I can tell you with certainty that this document has not been checked out.
Okay, it's down there.
Right. So whatever business you had with a courier, whatever happened to he or she, I can tell you that they didn't actually get the document.
Well, ultimately, that's why we're here.
Otherwise, we would know that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it. I like this plan.
Is it like an automatic checkout system? As soon as it's removed, you all know about it? You don't track who comes in here. So what if somebody were to just lift it?
Are you suggesting someone steal a document from the library? And she puts her hand on her.
I'm just wondering, is that what the weapons are for? Do you have safeguards against that kind of thing? This is a big library. I imagine it's full of important information that you would want to keep safe.
I mean, if someone came and just tried to steal a document, of course I would defend it. Yes. Yes, with my life, if need be.
Very honorable.
Well, yeah, my job. I am, after all, a librarian. But
Bookmaster.
Yes, bookmaster. Yes, I like the sound of that. So yeah, checking the thing. She'll take you down there and she'll unlock. There's a. Okay, so you go down one wing of the library and you go down a set of stairs, and then there are reading rooms down here, and there are lots of people doing research. And then she goes down a relatively obscure passageway, and then go down another. And now you are going into what appear to be catacombs. You're now 2 levels below the library. It's dark down here. She stops and she grabs a candle or torch, and she's walking with a torch. And she comes to a large iron. It's now cold down here. It's dark, and you notice there are like cobwebs and stuff.
Oh yeah, just like home.
You notice there are like cobwebs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the iron door, it looks like it's like a submarine door or something like that. It's this huge, very out of place for a library. And she pulls out a heavy key.
Bulkhead door.
Yeah, basically. Pulls out a heavy key, and she has to insert it, and she has to really work to turn this thing. And you hear an elaborate mechanism unlock. And she's like, very old part of the library.
And somebody has been down in this part in the past couple days.
Well, we store a lot of documents down here.
Yeah.
All the old records make their way down here. We have limited space above, and as more information is generated all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard there are undead down here. Is that right?
Well, I'm not sure how I'm not sure the technical term for it, but definitely there are members of noble houses that still maintain a vested interest in the lore of their house and the documents that establish them.
All right. Well, thanks for your help.
Are you
Appreciate
gonna
it.
lock this behind us? Or are you gonna leave it open?
Very good question.
No, she's going to leave it open, and she's
Okay.
going to wait
Got
not here, but she's going to wait at the exit of this place.
Okay.
And that's how she's going to know like what documents you got. That's what she means when she goes like somebody may have gone in here, but they didn't come out with a document.
Right.
Or they may have like I would know. Like yeah, she's just one employee that works here. But she would know if somebody like overpowered a librarian and stole a document. They might have gotten in here by stealth, but that would be very tricky. Unless you're suggesting that someone paid off one of the library staff, and I take great exception to that. I assure you that everybody works here is honorable and would never accept payment for something so underhanded.
We're not here to make assumptions.
Yeah.
We're just here for this.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to impugn your honor.
No offense taken.
So it's a fantastic beast you have.
Impugned her own honor.
What manner of thing is that?
Bringing it up when we.
It's a cat.
Right, well, I have that.
Yeah.
After she starts naming books on cats that they have at the library.
Oh,
and she's like, and she'll have to go check and see if the 6 legs and 2 whatever those are.
Yeah.
And Big Cat's like, and she's like that, and we kept. And she's like, okay, I'm sorry, I made it. And Big
magazine.
So yeah, she's super interested in figuring out what exactly type of cat that
If you
is.
find that book, I have to get King to read it to me or something.
Bedtime.
Do you not read? Because we actually have classes here that will teach. I don't know if we've ever taught you look like you're infected with some kind of.
That's right. I always forget I have that
because you're wearing the blood pebble armor.
Yeah.
But she says, I don't know that we've ever taught a goblin before, but I'm sure.
I read a little.
Well, if you ever check reading, reading is the it unlocks so much, and so definitely. Oh, lore, history. You could read about your cat, for instance. So she's like, all right. So she opens the door. She opens the door, and there's a blast of cold air comes out, and it's like this somewhat howling sound. And she's like, I'll be waiting at the top of the stairs. Good luck.
What's it smell like down there?
musty, kind of what you would expect. It's
Do we have any idea of where to even
No corpse
start
smell or anything like that.
go?
She assures you that the
Oh.
rooms are organized by subject, and you'll be able to see if you look on the documents that are down there. They're sort of in order.
Okay.
But you are going to have to do some fishing.
Right.
It's not like a modern library. Like the modern library was upstairs. This is kind of where they dump stuff.
Do I at least know what, even if they are, what we're even looking for as far as what house or what name? Like if it's like,
We're just looking for that number.
We just got a number.
just look for the number. Yeah.
That's what we got. Yeah, it was a
coordinate
number.
it.
We're gonna go down all the rooms and look at all
Check every number.
signs,
Yeah. All right.
dust it off.
And the house name is
Someone will proceed down.
Brunedetti.
Yeah,
Right.
yep. What you're looking for is the noble charter that grants House Brunedetti its title from an ancient prince, not the prince that just died, one from hundreds of years ago. Perfectly normal everyday document.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do my little, or no, not the dagger. I'm gonna touch my little chain medallion.
Wonder what he's going to say.
Oh, light?
Yeah.
Bard, light, cast bard? Bard, cast light?
Yeah.
Makes sense. That sounds good. Yeah, so you guys can see
A lot
now.
of bards have light.
What's the range on
Always
the
been a
light?
bard. I can tell you.
Always known this spell.
Or since they fixed that mix-up
Yeah.
over at the record keep.
20 feet
Yeah.
of bright light,
Okay.
and then an additional 20 feet of dim light.
So go ahead and give me your marching order. Those of you who are perhaps joining us for the first time, we have a whole other stream that we run, MCDM 2 or O2 or one of
I'll be out
those.
front.
And
How
it
wide
has
is it? Is it
our tactical
2 by 2?
all these. We have a bunch of cameras here that you may not be able to see that show off the layout of the minis. You know what? We don't have any graph paper.
No, I'm sorry.
That would be super handy.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
Stab you.
I think as I passed the librarian on the way in, I just asked
These
her
pages have a grid
to
on them.
see if she can find me a book
That help?
to train
It
unruly imps.
can't help. It can't hurt.
Good thing it's
Go
metal.
ahead and give me. Can you rip one of those off and hand it over to me? I don't know how much
Oh yeah, even metal one.
grid-based stuff we're going to do tonight.
It's bronze, right?
The brass, I
Brass.
think.
What is?
My mini that I just dropped unceremoniously on its head. He's got a hard noggin.
Those horns.
That's one of the things I
Yeah.
learned from both my friend George and my friend Jim is that you can't be too precious with your minis, even though you want to be, because they are ultimately toys you are playing with.
Yeah.
And so people are going to drop them. People are going to knock stuff over.
That's why I
People
got
are
the
gonna put
indestructible
markers
one.
on them.
People are going to drop the entire case of minis you have. So yeah,
That's
so
not what
I didn't say. Who knows what happened? I might. Yeah. So you guys march your way down, and this is now getting back to kind of proper mercenary business.
We're in a
Because
dungeon.
however else this was described, this is a mausoleum, right? This is, as Boots said, this is the thing under the library where people used to store their dead. There are a couple of different corridors that branch off, but following the librarian's instructions, you know which wing to inspect. But within that wing, who knows?
Right.
And the first place you come to after following the librarian's directions is a large round room, and there are three. It's the cold white light from Boots's spell illuminates this room in stark shadows. There are three what look to be sarcophagi in the room. There are cubby holes around the walls that have bones in them
Oh, okay.
and scrolls.
Bones and scrolls.
Yep.
Is there any kind of indication? We have the barcode essentially for where this thing is located.
Yep.
Looking around, like, is there anything that kind of shows us, like, are we in the fiction section? Are we in nonfiction?
Not that you can see just looking around the room.
Okay.
Do Boots and I get the hair stand on edge thing?
No. Not right now.
I want to lean down and look at one of the scrolls and see, like, is there a number written on them? Where the number is written? Is it like on the end, or is it like written longwise?
You can't see any writing on the scrolls. It's just tied with string, you're basically looking at the back of a piece of paper that's been rolled up.
So they're not like in scroll cases or anything like. Oh, Jesus.
Nope. They're just shoved in places.
Shoved in places.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just they're very unceremoniously organized. This is, by the way, how actual libraries were, or like the library above, very modern,
right,
and anachronistic. This is what it was like if you went to a monastery in the Middle Ages and were trying to find a book.
Right.
They would not recognize our modern books. They meant things like scrolls.
I think I'm just gonna untie one and see if, like, just sort of see just skim it, see if
it's the proceedings of a civic council for some place in the Stays. You don't recognize the name. It does have a document number written on it.
Okay.
That is the same kind of code that yours is written in, but you're way off.
All right.
Okay.
Well, and it's written in very tiny. It's written in minuscule handwriting. It's handwritten. You can read it, but it's very archaic. It's probably a couple 100 years old.
Damn. What are these scrolls made of?
Vellum, which is I think treated deerskin. So they last a long time.
That's
all right. I'll tie it back up and put it back where I found it. And
check the next room.
Yeah. There's a what would be, especially to your experienced adventuring eyes, a secret door. Like the seam around the edge of the door is incredibly fine, but it's just kind of standing open.
No.
Well, let's be careful. As the librarian said, there are people who are invested in keeping secrets about their families in these documents. So if anybody has the ability to detect if there are traps or wards that we should be aware of, we should probably do those things.
So Slim wants to grab Boots by the scruff and put him in front of the door so he can look in and see.
Are you scared, Slim?
No, for the light.
See, like a flashlight.
Can't
see. I can give you light.
Slim, I can
dark vision.
I'm just gonna like touch one of the little beads on one of your braids, and it starts glowing.
Cool.
Just ask, man.
The sarcophagi have their lids taken off. The 3 sarcophagi in this room.
In the room.
Can we, from where we're at, can we see there's anything inside? And yes, there is.
Inside the secret room?
No, you guys haven't.
We haven't looked.
While you're using your flashlight, your Boots light, to look down, the stairs going down.
Well, he said he gave me a light on my.
So now you've got
on
your
one
own
of my beads.
Oh, nice. While you're doing that, Judge is inspecting the sarcophagus.
I see.
And not very closely.
Okay.
I'm like a 6 foot something guy, so like I think from that distance I can just be like.
You see like piles of scrolls in there, and what looks like it might be a mummified hand, kind of sticking out from.
Oh, mummies.
Well, we don't need to mess with these, so.
Mummies.
Oh, there's scrolls just in there. I'm gonna send OD to get one.
Why are you touching the?
We want to see what.
OD grabs one of the scrolls.
Bring it here.
Commander.
So
Should we just be touching everything in here?
It's another. It's another document. It's about the sale. It's another civic document. It's about the sale of a local theater. It's also very old.
The number on it? Any closer to the number?
It's the same actually, the first 4 digits of the number are the same as the first 4 digits of the.
And we're far off.
And you guys again.
The same for the ones that Boots undid.
Yep.
Oh, then we're off again, right?
So all the documents in this room are all going to be basically the same category.
Well, let's get out of here then.
Let's check out this little secret, secret chamber. What did we see what did I see when
it's stairs going down?
Slim was. Okay. Well, shall we?
Sure. Slim will
stairs. Very dangerous.
Walking down.
You go first.
That's.
In this big circle room that we were in, was there any other exit?
Nope, not that you saw.
Oh my god.
Down the stairs we go.
Is it single file stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Where do you want to be at, King?
It's actually for somebody like Slim. It's pretty. Slim and Big Cat very claustrophobic. These are not meant to be comfortable.
Right.
It's okay.
Some bent down.
Yeah. So now you enter. Actually, I can sort of quasi draw it.
You okay
With
with
this
that? You don't want to be in the
makeshift-
back because you're
Yeah, I don't want to be the
a
back.
crybaby?
No. You can put me there. Oh, he's
OD's
behind
protecting
me.
you.
Yeah, he's protect. Well, he won't protect me.
Yeah.
He's gonna take off as soon as
He's
something happens.
scaring me.
Yeah. Like his wings are just like.
Look out behind you. What? Fuck.
Making like shadow puppets.
You take
Yeah.
What's that
Poop.
monster?
Next week, real. Oh, by the way, I say this all the time, and it's often true. Lars has jury duty. I don't say this all the time. We may be stopping early because Lars has jury duty tomorrow, and I reserve the right to stop before a battle that would last longer than when he has to leave.
Can't you just not go?
I would like to not go, but it's fucking far away. So
So the stairs down to looks like, what is that? 40 long, 50 long by 20 or 30 wide room. There are 2 alcoves.
Are these 10 feet per thing?
I think they're 5 feet.
it's normal squares.
Yeah, those alcoves are 5-foot alcoves. And in each alcove is a large statue in the Kalian tradition. So like a Greek statue.
Is there any inscription on it or anything?
Scrolls, anything laying around?
There are scrolls piled up on their feet, at the feet of the statues, but other than that, no.
So my guess is if we take something they don't want us to take, either those things are going to come alive or something's going to come alive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, I didn't put the map.
Let's look at one of the scrolls and see if, if the number.
So I'm just saying, be careful what we
I don't really
touch.
care what it is. I just want to open it up far enough to see the number and compare it against ours.
It is farther along. You still have quite a ways to go, but the category has changed. Like those first 4 digits are different now.
Okay.
But all the scrolls at the feet of these statues have that same 4-digit. They all have some of them are stamps, some of them are handwritten, but they all have that same 4-digit code on it.
So we're getting closer to
our number.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
We're getting closer.
It looks like we've got
one of the statues has its face has been desecrated.
Desecrated?
Yep.
Like
What is it a
way?
statue of?
Make a history check.
You mean like just
Defaced.
hacked at?
Yeah.
Not necessarily like shit smeared on it or
No. Like
graffiti or-
like someone's taken weapons or tools to it in order to.
Purposefully done. That's a 17.
There are 2 Kalian gods, Arista and Tellus. And Arista is the Kalian god of, among other things, birth and health. And Tellus is the Kalian god of, among other things, the underworld and death. And it's Arista, whose face has been just
the
hacked at.
the goddess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps by the dead things in this mausoleum that are a little butthurt about being dead.
There is a passageway out. Give me your map, and I'll.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see.
How far does your light go?
40 feet of dim light, 20 feet of bright light. Like how we're doing this NetHack style.
Is that what this is? That's cool. Well, this is classic. Like,
That's how we used to do it.
yeah, I have my map, and I'm basically translating what you guys see onto this map, and then you guys make decisions about which way you guys want to go. So, okay, hang on a second. This is probably not the most entertaining thing for people to watch, but what are you gonna do?
Don't touch my dice.
Just like.
Yeah, upset me.
Funny you knew.
If only I knew what.
Well, what I've done to him.
You better not have touched him.
Lars lets me in here when you're not here.
You better not.
Says do what you like to a boss. And just shuts the door behind him.
He just waits for you to walk out.
Just like that.
Yeah.
No, I see.
So,
You let
I mean, you still haven't caught on to what he did to your desk. It's been like a week and a half.
What'd you do to my desk?
I don't know. You've not found it yet.
I haven't.
I'm surprised, considering that she leaves her computer unlocked.
No, not anymore.
I'm surprised.
You
I'm surprised you've
Do
never.
I?
Yeah, it was unlocked when I came in today.
We saw
Well, that's because I was at work today.
saw
And I was
10,000
like,
tabs.
how could I get rid of all these
Look.
tabs? If I close X them all
Yeah.
and then close down
Dude.
We're
your
like, it'll
browser.
take too long.
Dude,
So we
earlier, like somebody was like, "Oh, you should check out this thing called like One Tab, this extension or something." I was like, "Okay, like I'm always down to try out like new ways to manage this like bullshit I've got myself into."
Uh-huh.
And so I installed this extension, and I click
I think
on
there's
it.
there's context missing. How many tabs do you have open?
20,000 at least minimum.
Actual
Yeah.
number. How many
91,
tabs do you have
isn't
open?
Whenever I took the screenshot, it was 91, but then I was in the
Wasn't
middle
far
of
off.
something, so I
You heard
opened
right.
at least like 8 more.
Jesus, gives Keegan a run for his money.
I can't do it. It's driving me mad.
Yeah, you get anxious for seeing all those.
Yeah. What's that one?
Well, she has to keep them open because some of them are from many years ago, and those websites are gone. So if she closes that tab,
Just
It's
lose
gone
it.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never see that website again.
So I click on this One Tab extension after I'd installed it because I was like, okay, maybe it has settings that I need to set up or something. And immediately I see all my tabs disappear, but then I
Oh.
see them all appear in this single tab, like how it's supposed to work. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But then for some reason or another, I was like,
it's
I don't think this is going to work.
another alcove.
I
with a
wasn't
couple
ready
sarcophagi,
yet to give up. So I hit restore all.
Oh, the
And then
scrolls
when I
over there?
saw what happened is
Yeah, there's
that
scrolls
tab
everywhere, man.
closed and then nothing appeared.
Everywhere you're going to go down
And I
here, you're
was
going to
like-
find scrolls.
I like audibly
so-
All right,
gasped
hang on.
aloud.
Hang on. Let's wait for.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm done. This is for
Because
the
the
game.
one thing our audio technology does not allow
Mhm.
is for multiple conversations at the same time.
But it came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
If anyone
back,
was
back to the
listening.
game.
Game.
Let's see what the numbers are here, and then the numbers are here to figure out which way
Okay.
leads toward our number.
We do a
There's
That's
two
way.
different routes.
Sounds like a
Hold
good
up,
plan.
people can see it on the screen.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna check out
can do
these
a,
sarcophagi. Get a little closer look at
Well,
those.
that's the room we were in. We've just
Well,
come
yeah,
out
we
into
came
that
down
corridor.
here, and we want to know which way we need to go based on the numbers of the.
Makes
Right.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what's getting closer to our number.
Okay.
So,
Is that one guy?
and then we go the
The
way
guy at the
that's
gold,
getting closer.
gold
to
So
our
guy,
the-
beastly skunk
the-
guy.
The sarcophagi are open, and if you look at there's a. They can't see this, but there's a. As you exit the room with the 2 statues, you come to a long corridor that goes, let's say, east and west. But immediately across from where you guys emerge into the corridor from, there's a large alcove with 2 sarcophagi. So that's kind of like right in front of you. And the sarcophagi show 2 young lovers carved in granite on the top of them, a man and a woman, and they are kind of styled such that they're reaching out to each other, even though their sarcophagi do not meet. And somebody has taken the lids and moved them, and there's tons of scrolls in here, in the sarcophagi.
Well, while I'm here, I'll open one and just take a peek at the number.
It's like 100 farther down
Okay.
on the list than where you guys were. So this is deeper into the mausoleum.
How many more hundreds is our number away from what this is?
It's like a couple thousand away.
Oh,
well,
wow.
I don't think we need to check every single alcove,
Just-
right?
we just
Like
need to
at
be
this
like,
point,
well,
we
no,
can
Well,
kind
what
of
said
King wants to do is
yeah.
King wants to check because
one
they're
right of it.
all down. So this is a huge alcove with 2. It's like its own little mausoleum, right? And then there's a bunch of smaller alcoves going down north and south. So what King has said is, why doesn't somebody go look over here,
Yeah.
and then somebody go look over here, and one of these numbers is going to be
Higher or lower.
higher or lower, and we want the one that gets us closer to the thing. It's perfectly reasonable.
I'll go look on the other side then with OD. Open that scroll up.
Okay, stand by.
Is this still claustrophobic, or is this have
No,
things
it's
opened up?
once you guys have gone down, the stairway was really claustrophobic, but now it's opened up.
Gotcha.
Uh,
I have my sword drawn, just to be.
Which I probably asked you to come with me. Actually. I'll go look at this scroll. Just in case someone sneaks up behind me. Or the imp frightens me again.
So, sorry. This is where you guys came from.
Yeah.
This is where the sarcophagus. Right? So this is the room with the 2 statues. You came down these stairs,
Yep.
right? And King says, "Hey, somebody go over here, and somebody go over here. Who's going to go where? Who's going to go here?"
OD and Slim
Yeah.
will go there, and I'll go there
Yeah.
with
King goes down there.
Boots.
King and Boots.
I'll keep watch.
Yeah.
You can't read. You said you can't read.
Right, yeah.
I said keep watch.
We,
Here, let me draw.
I'll go with your guys. With you guys.
Uh oh.
Sure.
Stand by.
I'm watching. In case.
There's not.
There's a giant.
There's a giant in there. It's not claustrophobic, it's all you can fit in there.
Yeah. So this is the corridor you guys are going down. Be careful because.
Yeah, don't mark his mini.
Seriously.
Blimey.
I'm already in there.
You won't hear the end of it.
Mark them out of me.
Have you been looking?
And then this is the large one.
Blimey.
That way.
Here's a large one and a couple of small ones.
I get that checked out.
Can I borrow that? Nice.
You want to put your family crest on here?
yeah, if you don't mind.
Family crest.
So here's one sarcophagus. Here's the other sarcophagus.
It's got eyes.
It's an 8-bit ghost.
Comes over here with.
Don't toss me the blue thing.
An OD. I don't know why OD's got the orange thing on it. It probably should be me, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna be over there.
And there is actually let me draw it to scale because there's another sarcophagus. There's like a little thing here.
Looks like a little chocolate bar.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Neat.
For some reason, I thought that was like, that's where the pillow goes.
They say rest in peace, right? So you gotta make sure there's a pillow there.
Very restful.
Yeah. So I need boot. Is that where you guys actually are?
Yeah.
Well, we were standing next to the next alcove.
Well, yeah, we're
There's an
checking
alcove
one
here
here.
You guys are checking that one down there.
I think we're okay.
Who's going to look at the scrolls? There are scrolls piled all over this thing.
I'll pick one up.
Okay. Judge and King, while Boots is doing that, do me a favor, make a perception check.
Let's see which one I'm going to use today.
Don't bro me. I've been rolling well all night except for that. First roll of the night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
7.
What's the plus
not
you get
great.
to oh no, it's
A lot of my box.
You notice
it's got a 6.
Hey!
Just run back up
A
the stairs.
kraken.
Wait, what the fuck?
See you guys later.
I don't know what this is doing here, but
You probably left it on the table and somebody had to clean up after you.
that's probably true. This is something that
Notice. You just happened to
The
notice. that.
ghost of the Somnium's ex-girlfriend.
Where is? I know I have a mini for this here because I used it just like last week or some shit.
Is it this?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing? What are you doing with that?
He was
You left
hiding
it
it.
right-
You're not on this side of the screen. You don't get to have your own monsters.
That way you can't use them.
So what did King? I asked King and Judge to make a.
Perception.
I
Perception.
rolled a 5, which makes it a 9.
I rolled a 7, which makes it a 7.
Okay, so you folks don't notice this figure until it's almost upon you.
Coming from down the hallway?
Yeah, coming from down the hallway, you see floating, gliding. It doesn't look like that. Actually, it doesn't look like that at all. It looks like a skeleton. What it looks like. I'm sorry. I don't know why I went to all that trouble.
Those are Tom's skeletons.
Yeah, those are mine.
This is your
I'm a necromancer.
army of skeletons. You notice this skeleton kind of. It looks like it's floating off the ground, and it's moving toward you. It's going to be initiative.
Spooky, scary.
That's better. Finally.
So much for that.
This is like
My new dice.
this is
OD
legit
gets
the most
one.
old school encounter I think this campaign is ever going to experience.
Yeah.
It's +3 as well.
Boy, could you see what I wrote down?
It's on your front page.
I didn't know what OD was.
Well, you probably do. Right, I called for initiative. This is what I got here. Odie, what's Odie's initiative?
He got 12.
12. What's Leech's initiative?
15.
That's better. Slim.
4.
That's awesome. I love it when players roll really badly. King.
8.
8 is better than 4. Judge.
19. I rolled a 6.
19. Baboots.
18.
18. Nice.
14.
14, I believe that's above Leech. Leech got a 12. Is that correct?
I got 15.
Oh, sorry.
So I think he's in between OG and Luke.
Yep, you are
That's where I
correct.
want to be.
Yeah, right. Hey, hello, Copper.
I think we should bump Slim's initiative since he has the magic sword.
Magic sword.
Fucking hell! I forgot to do
get
this
over
stupid.
there.
I forgot to do the
Yeah.
stupid one thing.
It's too late now. Well, it's not too late.
Well,
It's
yeah.
going to take an action.
On your action.
All right. So now, Judge,
the way
you
over
see
Yeah,
a
you can
skeleton
walk.
floating toward you, reaching out as though intending to drain your life once it reaches you. That's just an embellishment on my part, of course. Maybe the skeleton maybe can't even
I
do that.
think my initiative's getting swapped.
Is it?
Is it? Who
It's
does
up to him.
that?
It's
The
his
swapper.
ability.
He's way down the hallway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's he? He who?
Oh,
Slim.
Slim Jim.
Ew.
He's with me.
Oh, that's right. Slim's lieutenant. No,
No.
Slim's not.
No,
Boots is.
Yeah,
Boots
Bruce
is,
is a lieutenant.
if they swap now, he could get there closer. Is that what?
could even
It's,
get
wait. It's Judge's action. If you have a reaction to rolling initiative that lets you swap, then you gotta use it now.
It's up to you.
I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll just go ahead. Take a swing at him or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a bonus action though.
I'm gonna
Anyway,
hex
so
him. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action to.
magic weapon. is
Fucking
bonus.
hell! It's a concentration spell. How does it? I used my bonus action to cast magic weapon on my
Okay.
sword. So now my sword's magic. I think
It's +1.
it's +1 too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a step forward and swing at this guy.
Okay. Hang on one second.
It's got like legendary action or something.
My thing still says level 5.
He's got some sort of stink on him.
No, maybe not.
Troglodyte.
No, I think it's just to here.
Huh?
So as you step forward to attack, you encounter this membrane, this clear gelatinous membrane.
Oh, you gotta be fucking
Oh.
kidding me! God damn it!
So it's-
Seriously?
it's
Seriously? I couldn't see it.
it's transparent.
Mm.
It's what the
Nice.
fucking check was for.
That's awesome.
So it's not so there's this weird.
Right, that's
It's so clear that it's you can just see right through it, and so it takes a second to understand exactly what has happened. Stand by. I got to read how this works.
Every time that Matt has mentioned a gelatinous cube in conversation ever, he goes like this.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not actually it's just
Yeah.
a
I
it's
was
just
like, why is he gliding now?
Right.
Oh, it must be some
it's
kind of
just a
adventure
dead
bullshit.
skeleton suspended that the cube ate some time ago. So suspended in this cube is a digested person, and what's left is their skeleton. That's why it just kind of floats around.
Nice.
That's right. OD is not. Mr. O'Driscoll has not fought a gelatinous cube before.
No.
Classic
I have
D&D
definitely not.
nonsense.
Fought very little
None of us
before.
have other than Phil.
I did think to myself, one
I
skeleton.
feel like you've told that story before, and I'm mad at myself for not realizing.
Against us lot. This is a bit weird.
Make a DC. Make a dex save, Judge.
What do you say it was called?
17.
Gelatinous cube.
Okay.
I unstick myself.
You are not. You are able. You realize what's going on, and you're able to go "Ah!" and kind of pull yourself free before it can engulf you. So you may go ahead and take your action normally.
Okay. So I can go ahead and attack now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's where it is. 2d6. Yeah.
That's not very
Then remember, you get to add a bonus 1 to that.
Yeah. So I 23 hits. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Its armor class
a
is
little closer,
6
maybe.
Okay.
because it's a giant cube.
Sorry.
All right.
You basically cannot miss.
So I do 4
You can touch
plus
it to
5.
focus.
I do 9 damage with my
That's
first
good.
attack.
I think that's good.
Or I know. I'm sorry. I do 10 damage with my first attack. Because it's +1 to
What was OD's
1 to
initiative?
hit, 1 to damage.
12.
12, yes. Yeah. And I was 15. Yep. Oh.
I like how you're like, I think I know what this is. I'm like, yep.
The cube. That.
Oh, yeah, here. Let me put AC 4 on here.
4.
Oh, I'm sorry, AC 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
6.
Yeah.
Same reaction.
So how much damage to the cube?
So I just rolled my second attack, and I rolled an 18, and I did 16 damage with the second attack, so 26 total.
Oh,
With
okay.
the 2 greatsword attacks.
wow.
Judge hacks at this thing. His sword goes into this goop and slices through, and it leaves this ripple in the. It's not obvious how much damage. Some of the cube's gelatinous interior is held in place by the outer wall, and so as Judge slices into this thing, it makes rends in it, and some of this liquid just kind of goes and starts spilling out onto the ground. So presumably you're doing something. Although what? Who knows? That was Judge. Are you done?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay, stand by. Stand by. So, Boots, this is all happening, like crazy shit is happening. As you are reaching out to grab one of these scrolls, the sarcophagus in front of you, like the scrolls just start like erupting out of it suddenly, and you notice in the sarcophagus there's like teeth.
Sarcophagus mimic!
Oh my god.
That's dope!
It's like,
Funny.
Oh my god, that's super cool.
I don't know if people can see this.
Holy crap.
Zooming on that maybe.
Yeah,
All right, hold on to your butts. Strategy cam.
There's a whole like,
yeah, this
whoa.
one's actually got a pretty decent view of it.
Does it?
Yeah, there's a whole camera right there. So that should hopefully that we can't see the tactile camera really, but
Let's put one
I
up on the
trust
side.
that it's
Yeah.
working. So yeah,
Oh god.
and that is this thing.
Over here?
It's amazing.
I'll let you handle it.
Sorry.
Stuck your hand right into its maw. Blimey.
So it is going to make an attack. What's your armor class?
It is 17. It's only 17.
It misses. It got giant, teeth. Try to wrap it. So this is a huge. It's not huge. This is a very large creature. You've heard of mimics, but maybe not one this big. The mimic adheres to anything that touches it. A huge or smaller creature here is also grappled by. Got it. Okay. It is indistinguishable from a normal object until it does its thing. Boots is your action.
Ooh my. Well, this okay. I had a plan, but then this mimic happened. Okay.
A mimic and a gelatinous cube in the same encounter.
Yeah. I get what
This
you
is
mean now.
almost embarrassingly old school.
This is already my favorite combat so far.
Yeah.
And you, those of you down the hallway, you hear the sounds of combat and Judge doing Judge stuff, but you also hear this sound coming from like really loud chomping and.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is crazy.
You got dark vision?
Nah.
All right, well, I'm just gonna start.
See down there.
I'm just gonna stab it, like just as a
Yeah, that's good.
like a holy shit moment. That's a 11 plus 8. It's a 19.
You hit.
What are you doing?
Counting the squares.
Oh.
And I'm also gonna do my defensive bard maneuver along with that as well. All right. 14 plus so 21 damage. And
Got it.
my armor class goes up. And
Nice.
I attack him again. That's a 17.
Hits, yeah, its AC is 12.
All right.
Not hard to hit.
And it takes 9 more damage.
Got it.
And I'm going to retreat a tiny bit, and I imagine I'll take an opportunity attack.
It will. It hits.
Does it?
Uh-huh.
What did it roll?
25.
Yeah, that hits actually.
Oh, I'm not rolling a d20 for damage. That would be ridiculous. You take 10 points of damage, and you do not move.
Oh no!
It reaches and goes, chomp, and it is grabbed onto your sword arm.
Ah.
You are now grappled.
I need this arm. Sword to stab you with.
That was the mimic and Boots. It's now Leech. Leech, you hear the sounds of combat, and also almost comedic chomping sounds.
Well, I obviously look down the corridor, and I guess with dark vision, I can see.
Yeah, you see, like Boots is like.
Oh, and there's a light down there as well.
Boots has light.
You can't see what Boots is fighting, but he's seems like he's grabbed onto something and is trying to. Homer, you just holding onto the can? Your point is.
But I can see the skeleton and the gelatinous cube.
Well, you don't see a gelatinous cube. You see a skeleton. You see Judge fighting a skeleton.
Oh, okay. And I think we're just going to take aim at the skeleton and blast it from there. Okay, what is it? What do I get on that again? That's 6 on each one. So 16 and 20. So they both hit.
Yeah.
And then
you're zapping the
skeleton basically. Yeah.
No problem.
And then I had a 12, and then 7. So what's that? 19 total.
Oh, nice.
They both hit. One was a 9, one was a 4.
Got it. Yeah, you see the blasts of holy napalm that arc out from your finger, and they splash into this thing, and they just corrode a whole like sheaf of liquid just pours off the gelatinous cube and floods the ground. And now there's like digestive fluids on the ground.
All around your feet. Sorry,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. It's Copper and Big Cat.
Okay. Just shoot him. 2 plus 13. I hit, right? Yeah, he's 6.
Yep.
For 9 damage. 1 hit. Shoot him again. It's a magic bow.
Yeah.
19.
It's a magic bow.
30 hits.
A 30 just missed.
Yeah,
just missed him.
You've just shaved him.
You hit it goes into the gelatinous cube, goes out, turns around, comes back, hits it again.
Ricocheted.
Wait, which arrow is this you're using?
Just a normal old arrow.
You're not using one of the arrows of Ilric the Archer?
No, not yet.
Okay.
That's a good point, though. I forgot about. Okay, so,
you forgot about the arrows of Ilric the Archer?
I didn't want to use it just yet.
Forgot about
On gelatinous cube?
Yeah.
I was hoping to use a fireball one, and that would be a really interesting way to deal with this problem.
10 damage.
10 damage to the gelatinous cube.
Additional, and then I'll move Big Cat up to here and attack. 10-foot reach.
Interesting.
Let's see if we can hit it. No, come on, Big Cat. Jeez.
No.
Big Cat needs her own dice.
No.
How did Big Cat miss an AC 6 creature?
Wait. So I rolled a 2.
What's Big Cat's bonus to hit?
Oh, 7. Okay, never mind. I just assumed when I saw that 2, it was just...
No, it's got an 8. Normally your instincts would be correct.
Yeah.
But in this instance, it's literally just a giant cube. It's very hard to miss.
That's a fair point, isn't it? No point rolling or something.
Yeah, it might not be possible to miss depending on your... Well, one always misses.
So 10 damage. Oh, good job.
Good job. Good kitty.
Just normal tentacles, not magical.
Plus 6 to hit, which is...
It is Odie.
If I...
Odie's like...
That's what I'm thinking, yeah, because he's laughing at old...
yeah, he's actually
Bootsy
on the
being
ground,
grappled.
kicking his feet, laughing his ass off, rolling around, holding his stomach. It's so funny!
I could send him over towards Well, can he go near Boots? And then can he do a help action?
How does the help action work?
I can't remember now exactly how it works. I'll have to try and...
Do you guys remember how?
What was that?
Sorry, what's that?
OD's help.
You help one creature in the cast, giving that creature advantage.
Yeah. So if like there's say Slim's an enemy, you could say OD help on this one. Then the next time
instead of attacking,
attacking,
he spends his action to give somebody else advantage on the attack.
Yeah, I can't get him to attack.
He harasses somebody.
But he'd have to be like next to him, I think.
Right,
Right
yeah.
next to him to.
They have to be within 5 feet.
He can fly though, so he can fly above the mimic.
Yeah, that's true. I think he can get there.
But he still, still occupies the space. He doesn't have any special ability to like
5.
stand in someone's space with them.
Yeah, I don't think he can get in here, can he? Because he.
There's weird like bars on this camera.
I don't know.
It
what's up with
doesn't translate to the stream though.
Oh, it doesn't? So it's the screen, not the camera?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So Odie can't fly.
Oh
like
wait, but
5
King's
feet.
soon, right? So I can give King advantage.
King is soonish.
You can give Big Cat advantage.
Oh, I'll give it to you because you're coming up soon.
Well, but I'm going to move out of the way for Slim.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll be able to give Slim advantage then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then. Yeah, let's stay there.
Run away.
I mean, I can stand in melee, so Slim literally can't do anything this fight.
I don't even know if I can get there.
You got jump, bro.
I'm about to use an action
Jump is an action. It's not a
to
bonus.
cast it.
Oh.
Are you done,
I
Odie?
think he is. Yeah, he's in the right spot now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cube goes, and those of you stand. So Boots, with your hand stuck in this thing, you hear this kind of like as this gelatinous entity flows over you,
Oh, my hair.
Judge,
Oh, no.
and King, and Big Cat. So you are engulfed
Oh, he doesn't
in
go.
this giant gelatinous goopy thing. It's covered, but you guys get to make a successful save. You can choose to be pushed. So you, as a result of being grabbed by the mimic, this is
The old wombo combo.
yeah. So you are grabbed by the mimic. All of you, including Big Cat, not Copper. I'm going to rule that Copper is, since you're riding Big Cat.
No.
No, he's not.
You're not. Oh, that's right. Okay,
I'm over
fair enough.
here.
That's right. You're over there.
Is OD
So yeah,
okay?
yeah, OD's fine.
He can,
It's only the 10 feet in front of him.
okay.
So you both, King and Judge, make dexterity rolls. Let me know your results.
10. Oh, save. It's a save?
Yes.
Same. 10. I rolled an 8.
Awesome. 4. Okay.
God.
This is not how I expected this campaign to end, but it will certainly be memorable. We were digested.
By gelatinous.
Slim's going to be like, I got the fuck out of there. Like, I didn't.
We tried to check out a book,
We tried
and
to
we
check
got
out a book.
digested by a cube.
I can see you, Copper. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
You're the
right?
ones who-
So I need Boots to make a dexterity save with disadvantage. Actually, I'm not even sure you can
Ooh.
get out.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not even sure because you're kind of trapped.
Well, saves. Hang on, saves. Can you do like a? I rolled a 1 again. I'm doing great.
You're my favorite player.
Those dice have
But it is a +8, so
Yeah, so that's 9. Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yep. Well,
Am I cubed?
you are all. So you hear it's this acidic jelly flows over you. It covers your eyes and your ears. You hear as the sound goes away because you're now literally in the middle of this giant cube being digested.
Does that do damage?
It will.
So,
Yep.
quick question.
Uh-huh.
Whenever you're in the cube, so I have.
Does it do damage?
Well, no, I meant like right now. Because I have a reaction. That if damage is
I have
done-
advantage though, right?
I know it's going to do damage,
OD?
guys.
you will have. Yeah, you got it now.
Yeah. So what's your reaction?
Hold on.
Well, the hellish.
I'm not in it
How do you know?
because I had an advantage from OD.
How do you know that's enough?
Well, it's a 19 plus 1, which is 20.
That's
so.
enough. You can be pushed 5 feet back, which
It's-
causes OD to be pushed 5 feet back.
There you go. He helped you out.
Yeah, that was worthwhile.
What did OD do?
He gave me the help action.
OD can't do that.
Huh?
OD can't do that. That's not OD's turn.
I think it's a reaction, isn't it?
He used the help action.
It's an
on me.
action in combat.
But isn't that what he did during his turn?
Yeah, he used,
is that what he
used
was-
help
so-
on me? He moved up by me and used help on me
Okay, hang on a second.
to give me advantage.
Well, I mean,
Is that
hang on
not
a
how it
second.
works?
Well, what it says is you help one creature with a task, giving it that creature advantage on the next ability check it makes for that task. Saving throws are not ability checks, is my understanding. Or you distract one creature within 5 feet of you, and the next attack roll that you make against a cube, you gain advantage.
Yeah.
What?
You got advantage on attack when it's your go if you want it.
In the cube.
I believe
part of
I
the cube.
remember.
Did Big Cat say?
What's his
Yeah, one of
name?
my
What's his name? The
You're
rules
gonna roll
guy.
a dex save.
Dex.
That's you, right?
No, on Twitter, whose name I cannot remember. Jeremy Crawford.
Oh.
I almost said Jackson Crawford. Jackson Crawford kind of help us now. I believe Jeremy Crawford said there are 3 types of checks. There are ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls.
I don't think a 10 saves.
10 does not save.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's what I got.
Big Cat's head is
So-
fucking there.
So
Just my head.
when
Yeah.
it does the damage, though, if I'm inside the cube, because I'm encompassed, does that mean I cannot cast spells that have verbal components?
It doesn't say that. Hang on a second. On a failed save, the cube enters Judge's space, and Judge takes a purple damage and is engulfed. Judge cannot breathe. Judge is restrained, and Judge takes acid damage at the start of each of the cube's turns. So you can't breathe. So I would say if it had, well, you can, even if you can't, you could still, and you could expel air.
yeah.
So if there's a verbal, I would say as long as you're not out of air, which it's going to take you a while to run out of air, you can probably still cast a spell in here.
Got
You're
it.
just going to see Judge go, and a little bubble of air is going to create itself inside the gelatin.
It's like that, like, what is it, the ballistic gel?
Yes,
Where you see,
exactly.
like, the
It's
bullet
exactly
go
it.
through it, and you
This
see a
is-
pop
yep.
of fire in the
Yep.
That's what this is going to
Yep.
look like.
Yep. So what do you? So you haven't taken the damage.
Right,
Yet.
yeah,
There's nothing
but-
to react
But
to.
quick question.
Yes.
So the mimic is on his hand.
Boots. Correct.
So does that mean it's engulfed?
No, because it's 10 feet wide.
Okay.
So it's not. If it were 15 feet wide, then it
So
would
you have
flow
like
in there.
arms
But it's
stuck out
not.
of the cube,
Right,
and
as
you're like
long as it's
suspended, and
like,
it's
oh, God.
like tug of war between.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I can't wait to do a campaign diary about this because there's a lot to talk about.
Not including the
I
player.
mean, yeah. So all of you take not much.
I take half of that one.
8 points of digestion damage. It's acid damage.
How many dice was that?
It's 3.
Take half on a failed save.
When the cube moves, you folks move with it.
Oh, no.
Right.
We're all just like floating.
You're all just like suspended in the
Oh
cube.
boy.
Half cat inside.
I was worried that nothing interesting was going to happen tonight. I was way wrong.
How many are this? Okay, so 3 of us are out of the cube.
So so the cube is engulfed. This it's what it did was it moved 10 feet
And
forward.
Odie, I think.
It moved 10 feet
Okay,
forward.
yeah.
So
it's
Odie
got half.
is not in it.
No,
Half a
Odie's
big cat and Odie.
Half of Big Cat and all of Odie is not engulfed.
Yeah, I'm,
So I can do my thing now. Right?
That was the cube. Yeah, you're free to cast hellish rebuke, hellish belch.
Yes, hellish belch. So I get to do the thing where I cast it as a second level spell once a day because I'm a tiefling. And
That sounds cool to me.
you have to make a dexterity saving throw.
She's not gonna make that. Dexterity. What's that? What's the DC?
It's going to be 16.
So the cube has to roll a 20.
Oh, jeez.
there it is.
20.
Oh my god.
The cube didn't. It's a giant
started
cube.
just doing
It
like
doesn't have
that.
dexterity. It's like,
Jumping around.
it's not gonna, it can't go upstairs. It has failed its dexterity save against your hellish rebuke.
All right.
It
So
would be pretty badass if it fucking made it.
Yeah.
It dodges something you're doing from
Inside
of it?
Inside
it
it,
kind of goes blip. And
Yeah. Avoids it.
Whoop, yeah. All right. So I do 19 fire damage.
Okay. So that's got it. Done.
Cool.
Common core.
So you're 3d10 for that?
But yeah. So it's
level
whenever.
2.
Yeah.
Wow. So you could do up to 30 damage with that.
I could if I rolled really well.
Shit.
And you just
Which
do
you
it
did
any-
one time.
Yes.
And you can do it any time.
Yeah, I rolled the first 2, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do one more." And then I rolled another 10.
That was king. No, it wasn't. That was a cube. Now it's king.
Can we
You can do it
melee
any
attack in
time.
this or restrained,
I
or how does that
can-
work?
The react.
You are restrained. And I think
As a
restrained
second
just
level,
means
once a day. Or I can just cast it like normal.
Stand by. Uh-huh. You can attack. You just have disadvantage. You're basically, it's like being underwater if the water were really viscous.
Yeah.
And you also have disadvantage on dex saves.
But
Which is how you get out of this.
Well, then we
But
try
don't
to
you
make a
get-
dex save to get out of it.
You can try to escape by taking an action and making a strength check.
Strength check.
Yep.
I think Odie can still help you. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't used up last time.
No, he didn't get used.
This is 100% legal use of help. This is
Yeah.
an actual ability check.
Right.
To get, so this is just imagine Odie just reaching in and trying to pull.
Yeah, he's trying to get you out, Lars. King.
Well, then I'll
Red.
do it. It's strength,
Yep.
acrobatics, or athletics, or is it just strength check?
It's not an athletics check. It's just a straight strength check.
Okay, then it's 14.
So
Probably
you see
not that.
Odie reaches in and goes, it's all sticky! And starts pulling, and King pushes his way through it. And he comes out of this thing and steps out, and he is able to
Nice.
enter a square of your choice within 5 feet of the cube. You can come out the back if you wanted.
The back would be here, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Technically, it says within
Might as
5
well.
feet of the
Odie
cube.
pushed him through.
Well, yeah, basically got him through, yeah. He's got his uses.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he pushes him through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait for Slim to get close to use my.
That is an action. But if you have a bonus
Yeah, I was
action,
gonna use my commander ability, but Judge has disadvantage, so
All right.
I'll wait for Slim to get
Slim,
close.
I think the heavy hitter of the group.
All right, so
And don't forget you have that fucking crystal that gives you.
no,
crazy-
yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think. So I'm gonna go, and then it's gonna move.
DPR.
It's gonna
DPR.
it's gonna move
DPR.
another 10 feet.
What's going to go what? Say that again?
I'm gonna.
Oh, right.
Well, first of all, I don't think I can even get within range of it.
Where is it now?
It's right here.
Yeah, you want to.
Cool.
Here, I'm
line
gonna put
there.
this guy here.
You could erase the dotted line behind you and put a dotted line
There you go.
between the skeleton and. Why don't you move the minis first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do what Lars did and throw your mini in front of my marker.
There he is.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna be one away, Phil.
And I would have gotten.
You can take the skeleton out of there.
Is that how that
The
works?
skeleton's just a prop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Would I have gotten pushed 2 with it moving?
No, it hasn't moved yet since it engulfed you.
Oh, okay.
You were standing there and it went,
I see. Okay.
and now
yeah.
you are engulfed. And if it moves, it takes you with it, but it has not moved yet.
Okay. What's the best way to handle this? Well, OD's in the fucking way.
Well, it's gonna probably move forward again too.
Yep.
So
All right, so
I might not. I might reverse and back up to get you again.
I mean, I think it could be
Go
flying.
for it.
You go underneath.
5. I'm gonna move here,
Hmm.
and then
Okay, the mimic there attacks. No,
oh yeah, is that taking up that space?
there is a sarcophagus there, but you can stand in that space.
I'm going to use my action to use my psionic crystal
Okay.
and use the amplify one.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
And so for the next minute, so you're blocking the camera. I know that.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
know if that's.
sorry.
I don't know if that's important. But yeah, you have a medium psionic crystal, and so you mentally activate it, and you use the manifestation to amplify, and your sword is wreathed in psionic energy. It kind of looks like it looks like the
Lightsaber.
What?
it looks like the shield effect from the 1984 Dune movie.
Okay.
Right. It's got
Yeah.
this, but it's not as cubic.
Mhm.
It's more so. It's this crazy
Glowing
distortion.
psionic force.
It's this crazy distortion that makes it look like you're looking at it through like a mirror or something.
Okay. Sorry, guys, you have to hang out in there for another turn.
All right, Judge.
I mean, I can't
You
get close
in
to
there.
it.
Nope.
So can I move out the back of it?
You can no. Your speed is 0.
Okay.
You can
If you want to engulf yourself, it's the same thing King just did.
Strength check.
strength check.
You got really.
You're
good
a you're a
strength,
badass ill rigger from another dimension.
I mean, I'm strong. I use.
You
my,
seem
I use my
strong.
charisma.
Well, you can't
Yeah,
charisma your way out of
sticky.
this, I don't think.
Stick situations. Otherwise, I
If he
have like
takes
a
off his armor,
maybe-
little arms.
Maybe you can.
yeah.
This little skinny. You've got all these like muscles built into the armor, but in fact,
Yeah.
maybe you could charisma. We could talk the gelatinous cube into letting you go.
Mm.
I probably
Dear
could.
Mr.
I can
Gelatinous Cube.
intimidate it.
You,
Let
you
me
might be
go.
able to.
Yeah. Scare the shit out of it. I could try to start eating it instead from the inside out. So if I stay in it though, I just have disadvantage against attack.
Yeah, you can attack just with disadvantage.
I have a feeling I'm not gonna make a strength check.
There's only one way to find out.
Probably a better chance to hit, honestly.
Yeah. Considering I get a
What would
plus
Judge do?
9.
Would Judge try to get out, or would Judge attack?
Judge would attack.
All right then.
Like, fuck it.
Okay. What else do you need to know?
I don't need to know anything. So I rolled a 3,
So
and I get a plus 9 to hit, which is a 12, and its AC is 6.
You did
that's true. Yeah, you hit.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I hit him.
Yes.
That's true. It's a low AC. It's
Yeah.
It's hard to miss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kill it from the inside.
Yeah.
So I do 7 plus 6, which is 13 damage on the first attack.
Okay, stand by. See, how much damage? 15? 13. 13. Uses 13.
Yeah.
So that's got it. Math.
I did pretty good. I hit because I rolled a 9. I get a plus 9.
I don't think you can actually miss.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
if you get a
You roll a
1.
one.
It's true. My plus. Oh, that's right.
You roll a 1.
So I got a
Oh,
5 and a 3, which is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. So I do, or 8 plus 6 is 14. So I do another 14. I do 14 more damage.
That is easy because I can add 15 and then subtract 1. So that's got it.
And then, fuck, he did some damage to us earlier.
You see Judge,
Yeah.
like from Slim's point of view, it seems like Judge is sort of levitating and just thrashing about around him wildly and slowly, like he's sort of fighting in slow motion.
So, whenever, how does concentration work again? Whenever you take damage, you have to hit a DC 10 or half of whatever the damage is. If
Correct. It's
higher
a
than
Constitution check.
10. Okay, so I actually need to make a Constitution check real quick to make sure that my weapon is still magical.
Hit it 8, I think. Yeah.
It's a constant. It's
Makes me think not.
what's the bonus?
I just looked at the chat,
So it should be
From-
a save.
so I missed the comments of people, but I love the like somebody like Boots instructing Angel to use his network to find out what the DM rolled.
So my Constitution save is a plus 6. I rolled a 4, so I got 10. That means I made it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure who in favor it went towards. So my weapon is still magical. And then
You have to concentrate. You have to concentrate on. But when did you take damage?
whenever you entrapped us in
Okay,
the
I thought. Oh, yeah, correct.
the cube. Okay, I think that's going to be the end of my turn.
Okay, that was Judge. It's now the mimic that is munching on Boots.
Nom 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 nom.
So am I still
Like Cookie
grappled by
Monster.
both the mimic and the cube?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, they're fighting over you to see who's going to eat.
Gonna
it
rip
first.
your arm off.
Like
Like
two-
as the cube moves.
Two dogs yanking on it.
I'm just gonna start getting into a cool pose, so that the next time, the next group that comes down here sees a skeleton.
They'll be like, it's a floating Riohan bard coming after us.
Well, they're both going to have to make strength saves, and whoever wins is who you stay with. So,
They're like Lady and the Tramping me right now.
Blimey.
Ooh,
Don't be happy.
Did one of them win?
11 points of damage. Ooh, and
You know that.
The trick is to be excited on the inside.
and 7. So no. I can at least like
Yeah, right.
I want the mimic to win. Then the mimic levels up. So and you take an extra 7 acid damage.
Just realized the mimic looks like that alien from the Star Wars bar cantina. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Judge proficient in con saves? Can you tell
How
us
much
from the
damage
sheet?
again?
7 damage from the.
I
I think it was 13 damage. It's 20 damage.
don't know if he's proficient, but his saving throw says +6.
Is that what Judge added to the
Yes.
concentration check?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
How much damage did the cube take from that?
It's not attacking the cube,
The cube is around me though.
but it's not. But your
own
arm
now.
is stuck in the. It's going gnawing on your arm. So the good news is, like from your right elbow out, it's not in the cube. That's the good
Left.
news. Are you left-handed?
Yeah.
So your left elbow forward, not in the cube. The
Maybe
bad
you
news
could use
is
that.
the
as
other
a
half of the good news is that from the elbow forward is not in the mimic.
Not being hit by me.
Correct. So it's a win-win, depending on how you see it.
Maybe you could use the mimic holding onto you as leverage to pull yourself out, and then you're just dealing with one of them.
Maybe you could crawl into the mimic's mouth and be like, "Come get me, come get me, Gelatinous Cube." I like this plan. What the hell just happened?
That was
the mimic attack.
That's the mimic attack, and now it's Boots.
Yeah.
You're restrained.
Okay, so if I was gonna try to, like, how would I even attempt to, say, wrestle my arm free and get out of the cube?
You got to pick one. You got to solve this problem one grapple at a time, because it's an action to get out of either.
Fuck. Could I mean, what if I just like grab my arm with my other hand and just try to pull myself, like just vault myself to the other side of the, like pull myself out of the cube via the mimic?
I mean, that would just be trying to escape the cube. Right. So that's.
But you want to land on the other side, like in the back of the alcove when you do it.
So
I guess that would require the mimic to let go, which
the check.
Well, I guess the question is like would I even have space to be able to do that? Like can I literally get out of this situation right now?
Not in one action. You can extract yourself from the. You can either decide I'm going to use it's strength either way. You can either decide I'm going to use my strength to get out of the cube, or I'm going to use my strength to get out of the mimic.
But if he gets out of the cube, where's he going to go?
Yeah, can I get out of the cube?
Mimic's
He would
holding
end
on
up
to him.
in the alcove with the mimic.
Okay.
He's either going to pull his arm out of the mimic, or he's going to pull his body out of the cube.
Right.
And I don't suppose I could just attack.
Yeah, you could attack. Yeah, you could attack. You just have disadvantage.
Between you guys.
Because our wheels are
I know.
there. That should work.
Oh.
I can attack the cube.
Yeah, you could attack the cube. You just have disadvantage.
All right.
With his sword?
Well,
Yeah, anybody can make it. I mean, that's what Judge just did.
Okay, good.
I mean, narratively, it's his sword arm that's stuck, but that's a flourish. We could kind of imagine that he's going to grab his sword out. His arm is stuck.
Right.
And he's just going to let go of the thing and grab his sword. Can't get his arm out, but I don't want to punish him for my narrative flourish.
I mean, a sword bard would have
Lots of swords.
would have trained with both hands.
Sure, of course.
To some extent.
I am not left-handed.
Sorry. A little bit of planning. All right, I'm going to grab my sword hand and try to birth myself from the cube.
You got to do what you got to do, man. Yeah.
All right, and I can give myself
He's crowning.
inspiration, right? Little quick pep talk. in the
I
cube.
actually don't know, but I believe you can because I think it says a creature for inspiration. So you are a creature. Chat will know.
Oh shoot!
And the mods will convey it to me.
Yeah.
The mods might know. The mods might just know. We have awesome mods. We have an amazing community.
It doesn't look like it because it says choose one other creature.
You are not an other creature. I
I'm not
believe
an
I've
other
seen other players in other less strict campaigns give themselves, but it says on other creature, and you are not another creature.
All right. Well, so strength check.
Yeah.
1. 16.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you guys will
I think
see
I'll put-
Boots pull himself out of the. So we can imagine that the mimic is kind of sort of over here and you're sort of over here.
Woo! All right.
It's a Boots.
It's a Boots. Congratulations. It's a Boots.
And then that's an action, right? Getting out of the thing.
Apparently at higher levels.
Mm.
You can give yourself inspiration.
Oh, neat.
That's good to know.
I guess
Inspire yourself. That seems like a very bard thing to do. Aren't I so great?
This Boots.
You got keep it together, Boots. Keep it together.
Coolest boots around. Coolest boots ever to be eaten by a gelatinous cube. All right. So then, as a bonus action, I'm going to whisper some calm, healing words to myself. By that, I mean I'm just going to like yell a string of expletives into the cube. So you guys hear a lot of muted swearing, and I get some health back. I'm gonna use my little health d4s.
Yeah.
Woo. And that's my turn.
That was Boots. It's Leech.
How many did you get back?
Oh, it's a lore. It's only lore bards that can do it. Can inspire themselves.
Got 13 back.
I think I'm gonna.
Lore bards are nowhere near as cool as sword bards, I think.
I'm gonna blast the cube again, and then I'm gonna get out of the way.
I blasted the cube the other night.
I do not roll a 1, so I hit both a 9 and a
I don't
7.
know what that means.
You got blasted with a cube.
I blasted the cube the other night.
There's definitely a blimey
Cube
in there
blaster.
I
somewhere.
have no idea what that is. Literally do not know what that
8,
means.
9, 10, 11, and 4, 5, 6, 7. So 18 damage.
18 damage.
Yes, to the gelatinous cube.
Just drank a whole bunch of caffeine powder. It wasn't mixed up very well.
And then I'm gonna.
Awesome.
Straight up.
You inadvertently took the cinnamon challenge, but with caffeine powder instead.
Yeah.
My head just got
down
real
and I can
tingly.
get it from the side.
You're going to
Okay.
mainline
Split.
caffeine.
No, I got it. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, there. Just there.
It's Copper and Big Cat.
Okay. Just gonna back up a little bit. In case.
The wall mimic reaches out and
Right.
Pulling on Albert.
What's behind? What's behind you there?
Like I could stand way back here and still hit him with that.
I
But
know. You can put that's what you. That was what you were. Yes, correct. Yes. Yeah. Tactically makes perfect
Yeah.
sense, but
oh, why am I rolling?
Where's the
I
wyvern?
can't miss. Well, you roll a one. You roll a one. You don't. Then you miss.
Oh, that's true.
You could use your fireball arrow, do a lot of damage, probably kill the thing.
And everyone else in it.
Well, look, you got to break in a few eggs. You want to make an omelet.
Right.
It's your chance to ascend, Copper.
Right.
Imagine how much XP all these guys are worth.
Yeah.
Everyone just turns into these chickens. Like, what's all that food?
It wouldn't hit me.
Like a
though, would it?
cartoon.
I'd be right.
You see giant sausages.
Yeah,
I'm so
sausages and
hungry.
like.
So did you? Yeah, you did. How much damage?
11 damage for the first hit, and I missed. There you go.
You rolled a
I
one.
rolled a 1.
Oh,
Why'd you say anything?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna multi-attack from inside the cube with Big Cat with disadvantage.
Yeah, me and Big
Do I
Cat
wanna
just
do that?
thrashing around.
Yeah, basically.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Well, Big
Only
Cat could
6
try
to
to.
hit.
What's Big Cat's strength? Like, Big Cat could try to get out.
That's a lot of strength. 18 plus
Yeah,
4.
I mean, Big Cat. It's,
let me
the
do
DC's
that.
not
Let
that
me do
high.
that actually.
Try to yank his head out.
Yeah.
It's like cat trying to get his head out of a can or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally
Yeah.
see that.
18 plus 4.
Oh yeah,
So
no,
I
you were
get up.
easily able to extract yourself
Okay.
from the cube.
Oink. Just me in there.
Crap, he's gonna move again. I'm just gonna. Oh well.
Can you not move?
You could have popped out on my side.
The
Oh,
camera,
yeah, good point.
the
That's a good
camera viewpoint of this adventure of this scenario cuts to the librarian walking back up the stairs, and she goes, "I should have told him about the cube." She goes, they'll be fine. And it comes back, cuts back there.
Thanks, librarian.
Well, they're not going to have a cube down here anymore.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I have to go buy another one.
Well,
Another one.
Yeah, well, yeah. Got to keep this place clean. What do you think?
cube's still
I
around.
think it's not covered in dust.
Security cube.
All right,
I'm done.
Odie.
It's Odie.
Oh, does he need to have anyone in the cube?
Me.
I can't go.
Is Judge the only one in the cube now?
Yep.
Yep.
Delightful.
Who goes next? The cube goes next. I might have to move OD.
Yeah.
Go get by Slim and get him ready for an attack.
Yeah, I'll go do that.
I'm super glad my cube lived to do what's about to happen.
So,
I don't know.
Odie will go next to Slim and offer his help.
Does he take it up? Does he?
Okay.
He might
I was
take
looking
an
for that
opportunity
RIP.
attack.
So the cube goes.
I don't know. I have to ask. I moved Odie away from
Yeah.
the cube.
Yes.
You get an attack at him.
Did Odie do anything?
He just flew back.
So you could just use your action to turn it into a disengage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then what that means is you're moving carefully, so it doesn't get into it. It's a tactical withdrawal.
Yeah, he
does
just
not
withdrew
provoke.
and went
All
next
right.
to Slim.
It's the cube's turn. You folks see Judge, kind of quasi suspended by this thing, suddenly start to float in this direction as the cube goes and moves into this alcove.
What? The?
As the cube swarms.
Our alcove
The cube swarms over Boots and the mimic. So
With
now
Judge.
the mimic, correct,
Yeah,
with Judge.
just tumbling through.
So the good news is you got out of the cube.
gotta
However, the
prepare
bad news
for-
is the cube is back. The cube
fresh
flows into the alcove. It is now eating the mimic. I'm terrible. I don't know why people.
Was that just a random roll? It decided to go that way.
Oh no.
Yes.
How would you?
Oh, that was premeditated.
I'm-
as
now I'm
a
curious.
You could tell us.
Schmuck, welcome to
Judge
Matthew
began
Football
his turn within the cube. Therefore, Judge takes some damage. One,
Do I
two-
get to roll a dexterity thingy to see how much damage? If it's half
Damage.
damage?
Nope. No, it's not a fireball. You're already in the cube. You're already sorry.
In the cube, part of the cube.
In the cube, part of the cube. Wizards only, fools keep it tight.
Holy shit! That's nice.
Blimey.
12, 18, 26. 26 points of digestion damage. You see Judge's armor and horns and skin. You see tiny bubbles start to come off. Like
shit.
there's an acidic reaction happening inside the cube. You'll be happy to know that the Shyness Cube thinks you're delicious. And now it's so the cube moves at speed while doing so. Okay.
Yelp reviewer. Judge.
So I need you to make a dexterity save
Cube.
with disadvantage. Boots and the mimic.
Oh no!
Sorry, I realize this is not.
The mimic can't make a dexterity.
Oh my God.
No.
What do you mean? Where's it going to go? The mimic has more. The mimic has 15 feet of movement.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They go.
Little centipede legs.
Yeah.
Take all of your dice, throw
Fortunately,
them away.
8.
Get some new ones.
What did you roll? Oh my god.
I rolled a 19, but
On one die.
But I also rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Yay.
Yeah, the mimic didn't make it either. It rolled a 20 on it, but it had disadvantage.
That's still a 9, though. I don't know if that
No.
makes
Now we're
it.
trapped in here at the mimic too.
Correct. Yep. Because it just engulfed you again, Boots, you take 10 more damage. And the mimic is going to take
fuck
also
this.
10 damage.
Mimic.
That's the first damage it's taken, isn't it? Maybe?
No, that's not true.
No, we've been hurting.
No, somebody's done 30 damage to it already.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yep. It's a larger than normal mimic, if that is useful. Normally mimics are fit in a 5-foot area.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, did you have a
Well,
complaint?
I think at this point I'll be pushing it. I probably can't cast more spells because I haven't had a chance to regain my breath.
Well, I mean, it takes a long time to suffocate in D&D.
Uh-huh.
So you probably still have some air left if you need to cast another Hellish Rebuke.
Keep in mind, Slim's about to come fuck this thing's world up.
Slim is going
As
to
long
do
as I don't roll any
ridiculous
ones.
amount of fucking damage.
Yeah. Okay. I'll hold off then.
That was the cube. It's king.
So I'm gonna ask Chat a
This
question.
is some fucking.
Chat, if I hold my action, do I still get a bonus action when I execute my plan? Let's see if they tell you. 'Cause I don't know if I still get a bonus action.
If you hold your
you,
action,
you can't hold. I think you can ready.
No.
You can,
No bonus action?
No.
No.
All right,
just a
then
flat no.
Judge, go ahead and make an attack because Slim, otherwise it won't be till next turn.
Okay. So this is your commander ability.
Commander
you're giving me?
ability.
Okay.
Slim can't go before me, can he?
you can. I don't know what the rule is, but I would rule that you could just delay and say, "I'm going to delay my action," because that's classic D&D
All
stuff.
right, a delay.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go on your turn. You can wait.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to get close so I can give him another attack. So go ahead and take your turn, Slim.
Okay.
And then do an extra attack at the end. That's
All
the
right. So
start of my turn.
move me.
But then, because you move,
I mean, if this fucker doesn't die, then I'm gonna get.
because he's moved, then I guess I
You guys,
wait
have done,
can't help.
you guys have done a lot of damage to
Do I need to be next to you to?
No, I just can call out to have you do an attack.
All right. Cool.
So
As long as you
at
can,
the start of my turn, I'll do it.
you're not correct. As long as you can see and hear, King, and you can do both.
Okay.
But because he moved, I guess Odie doesn't help Slim anymore, right?
Odie can only help Slim by being in a position to attack the thing Slim is attacking.
Okay, 30s. No.
So even where he was, it wouldn't help.
Got it.
It has to be next to the thing Slim's attacking.
Next to the
All right,
thing.
so-
Okay.
First attack. Okay, I think that's a hit.
The 11.
So as Slim's sword
Yeah, it
slices
was
into
an
this
11.
thing, it sparks with what appear to be like rainbow-colored sparks come flashing off of his sword. That's the psionic energy cutting through them.
I need some.
Refracted through
I
the
need one.
cube.
I need a D8.
Sure, Judge is just what's going on?
What the hell's going on? This is like, this is not a
Who
great
is
day
that?
for Judge.
All right.
No. I'll be all exfoliated whenever I get out of here.
That's true. Yeah.
Not bad. Maybe 7.
You won't have to trim your horns tonight.
That's for sure.
So that attack is 23 damage.
Does that include the 3D whatever from
Yeah.
Amplify?
Yeah.
How much?
What did I just say? 23.
23. Stand
yeah.
by.
Yep.
It's dead.
Hey.
Yay!
Hey, that kid.
168 damage to it. It was a.
I'm going to take my second attack.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't read. I'm not close enough.
Oh, I can move you back to where.
Split move and action.
No. I like that. The mimic
originally-
is sort of in the middle. So there's not actually.
So can I take an attack on
Yeah,
it?
you could attack the mimic from where you are. I had to move the mimic over, so there's like a half space between the mimic and the wall. That's where Boots is standing.
Right on. Okay.
Mesmore just gifted 20. Thank you, Mesmore. 20 more people got gifted subs.
Holy cow.
Crazy.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
17.
It is a lot. So now people get dope access to new emotes and stuff like that.
17 hit. The,
17 does it say yes? I see 12 on the mimic.
all right. All right. So that's, let's see.
What's it look like whenever the gelatinous cube dies?
So sorry, I apologize. Yeah, the gelatinous cube quivers for a second, and then whatever life force, there are no nerves, there are no veins. Whatever life force holds this thing together just leaves this world, and what was a jelly mold thing just goes sploosh and turns into liquid instantly.
Nice.
And kind of floods the corridor with light green digestive fluids.
So 26 damage on the mimic.
It's a lot. Got it.
Okay.
And then you're going to get at least one more attack from King. If you haven't already taken all your attacks.
I mean, I couldn't. No, I'll save my action surge.
Okay, then you get another attack from King.
Yep. You're getting the commander ability
Oh.
attack.
King orders you to attack.
Okay, I will. 11 and 7 is 18, so that's a hit.
Neil.
I love this.
You just roll all those dice?
Yeah,
Just
Slim was already doing a
I can
stupid amount of
reroll
damage with a bog standard vanilla D&D character.
Jeez.
Nothing extraordinary about him. And now he's got this crazy magic item from Strongholds and Followers that gives him psionic abilities, including an extra, is it 3d8?
Yes.
Took a
An
day
extra
off
3d8
me.
for the next minute.
Takes an action.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
so.
okay.
26 more.
Dead.
Holy crap.
Slim slices into the mimic, and it kind of goes, "Bleh," and its tongue lolls out and starts to turn purple, and then it kind of it breaks and disintegrates, and the pieces go back to looking like a sarcophagus.
Uh-huh.
Like it kind of reverts to its previous disguise in death. And you have to know where to look to see, oh wait, there are teeth on that. That's not a broken thing of stone. So it is 10:38, and Lars said 10:30 was his bedtime.
Get out of here.
And 10:30 is normally when we finish. So next week, oh, by the way, this is the wrong direction. This is the numbers start getting lower, and you're looking for numbers higher. So that there's more.
So we wanted to go this.
Yeah, there's more to explore down here. There's the corridor ends just 20 or 30 feet, and there's a large ornate sarcophagus in an alcove that appears to be the end of the corridor. And there are scrolls over there.
Looted.
But if you look at the scrolls around here in these alcoves, they are one category down.
Okay.
So it's
We
that
want to go
direction.
back towards copper.
Yeah.
Correct.
See, I was going the right way.
You were going the
I was
wrong-
going the right way.
You baited
No.
us with that
You
map
knew.
drawing.
That's
I know,
factor.
yeah.
What do you mean?
You did all the extra drawing on the bad side.
That's very devilish of me. If I are you saying that you went in the direction that had just had more detail on it? That's good to know. That's some good level design, frankly.
Such a fuck this.
I'll have you know, I'm a wank master, according to my title. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're still here at this late hour, especially if you're on the East Coast or on another continent, we deeply appreciate you spending your time hanging out with us. We have an amazing community full of people that spend lots of money on gifted subs. But even if you're just here hanging out and you're not a Twitch supporter or you're not on Patreon, that's still supporting the channel as far as I'm concerned. It's really cool to have you here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Campaign Diary next week. I'm super interested in how it's going to go. And I'll see you folks at the latest Monday night where we might go back to some NetHack. Might be fun. Until next time.
See you later. Bye.
Be seeing you.
Doodle pip.